Step lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go. Brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. Remember where you came from. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
It's grand final time. Watch it live. The Vodafone 5G ESL Mobile Open. Tune in on the 28th and 29th of September.
It's game fuel. It's domination in a can. Tastes like loser tears.
New Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
We are now live here with the draft for, this is going to be the only series right now we're going to be able to cover of the ESL 1 Hamburg 2019 NA closed qualifiers. I am Seek and Strike, and joining us once again today is D Swordfish. Good morning here for us, or good afternoon if you're watching from NA.
Yeah, I am watching from NA actually. Went all the way down to, or no, up. I'm in the United States, man. That's where it is. That's where the real Dota's at. J.Storm versus fighting Pepegas. And not only any J.Storm, but a new J.Storm at that. As many of you have probably heard the drama, the changes. A resolution has left. He got an offer he could not refuse simply during the Midas Mode qualifiers. And he is no longer with J.Storm. Instead, it is Brax that's going to be standing in. So Brax will be playing at their offlaner. And Moo goes back to that safe lane. So, you know, mixed feelings. On one hand, I miss Rezo. On the other hand, Moo carry. You know, that was the thing that I really quite enjoyed. That guy, when he played carry for a while, I thought he kind of blossomed into a beautiful player. I think playing into multiple roles really helps you as a player. Many cases, I find that a lot of SEA players do that as well. They kind of switch. Actually, a lot of SEA players have like kind of a diminishing role per se, where they start at 1, then they go to 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and they slowly start decreasing.
Yeah, they run the gambit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty good, honestly. When you watch something like Jabs, for example, or Jeffer, which used to play in the mid lane, you get a lot of great skills, and because they understand exactly how to play the team fights with the mid laner especially. They understand when to gank, the timings and whatnot. Similarly, in the case of J.Storm, I like Moo because he understands the offlane timings because he's played there so long. As a carry, he has that bit of an advantage, and it gives him a bit more perspective about the game. So it's very nice to see.
Absolutely. I mean, you pointed out Jeffer, who has been pretty much picking or has been getting drafted position 4 Invoker nonstop. He's got that experience from mid lane as well. And it really shows, quite honestly. He's got the, you know, those things make a difference when some different heroes make their ways into different roles, right? So, you know, could expect to see that on the Snaking, for example. He's got a lot of experience in a bunch of different lanes as well.
That's true.
So
yeah,
stuff like that really.
Snaking's also a veteran, which also adds to the how much he knows about. It's Fear as well. Actually, talking about different roles. Fear, man, like this guy. I was talking about this a couple days ago, and he's just great on every role. I've never seen Fear in a bad position. Honestly, this guy is just.
True.
That's what happens when we play Dota for so long, I guess. Fighting Pepegas, though, also a pretty strong contender. These qualifiers, not, I guess, the staple NA org that we've had until now. J.Storm probably much more well-known there. Probably the top 2 NA orgs. EGSI, because they don't count. But
well, yeah, you know.
Well, EGSI, because they're the top guys.
It's contested, yeah, definitely.
They've always been the top guys.
It's
uncontested top guys. I don't mean that they're not an A. I mean that they're just uncontested top guys. But if you go into the lesser tiers or the next teams, J.Storm Forward Gaming kind of essentially fought the last year. But now you have a new contender, Fighting Pepegas. You know, they were Flying Penguin, or there was another iteration, Flying Penguins, did pretty well, honestly. And with his new EE stack looking very, very strong, honestly.
Yeah, I'd imagine these qualifiers for them making it to Hamburg would be a really great step forward for them to try and get maybe a more traditional title sponsor for them, you know.
I know, I'm going to miss it if it's not Fighting Pepegas.
I agree, but, you know, that might just be a holdover name, you know, until they can lock down some sort of roster, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So Cloud9, if you're looking for a team, these guys are looking for a sponsor.
You never know, right? Maybe that's going to be the entrance. EG back to CSGO, Cloud9 back to Dota 2, right? Could be really interesting to see, but let's go ahead and start mentioning the draft here. Tiny makes it through the banning phase, actually. It looks like they've banned the Pango and the Night Stalker and the Gyro, so Aoi drafting at the helm for Fighting Pepegas. It looks like kind of interesting phase 1 bans, isn't it? Really NA-centric.
Yeah, well, the Pango is a staple of J.Storm, right? We've seen they still play mid-Pango. They played it during the qualifiers, play it now. They love this this hero, I think they really understand how to use his tempo controlling abilities. The Night Stalker and Gyrocopter, I would say. Gyrocopter actually a Moo classic, but Night Stalker just to hear that he's just very strong. He's just very strong right now. The carry Night Stalker can still be played in the NA region, top of the offlane Night Stalker. We did see a couple of carry Night Stalker games yesterday. Unfortunately, both losses, but you know these can work, especially when it's from the region that it comes from, right? So you know don't discount the hero entirely just because of 1 or 2 losses. J.Storm now with. Pretty, I wouldn't even say NA-centric, just say American draft. The CK, much more seen in this content than we see it in perhaps Europe or, I mean, definitely not in SEA or China. This hero is just very, very valued, and it's the only content where they still play him as a carry.
Actually, they're playing him right now. I was just testing audio settings. What's the South American League you were telling me about?
LPG.
Yes, that's live right now. I think Infamous, or I think that's New Infamous is playing it right now. Yeah, New Infamous is playing that right now. I did notice that, so interesting to see the CK get picked up. But yeah, NASA sort of staple. Can mid. Remember, he went through that mid stint where he, because of the changes to the crit, where he's got guaranteed regen now. You wasn't too unfamiliar to see him pick up a Soul Ring, something like that, right? So it was always interesting to see these sorts of things, right?
Yeah, indeed. That's the traditional counter as well to the CK, the Naga Siren, because you can't overload her. High armor, a lot of illusions, right?
Yeah, and yesterday we saw Envy just absolutely work magic on this hero as well. The Song setup, as well as he was just really utilizing Song quite perfectly, honestly.
He's one of the better players at Naga Siren, I would say. You know, top players that come to mind used to be much more of the old Naga Siren people, right? The Miracle guy, well, the Miracle build, because that's the build that was played. Radiant's Naga Siren, right? Now that's not even viable anymore. Nobody ever plays that, thank Christ. And you have the very new kind of fighting Naga Siren, which is very similar to EE's old heroes. Like, he used to be known as well for playing a pretty solid Terrorblade, a Lycan as well. Those would be these heroes that have both the versatility to push and the versatility to go into early game team fights. These heroes that also can take slight risks, and you can take that extra bit of efficiency out of the game, right? I'm not even memeing out the EE 50-50. It's more the idea that this guy really, really does just juice, you know, every single part of advantage of the game, and he puts that into his favor. One of his best attributes. That's what the last picks are going to be. Both mid, well, actually for fighting Pepegas, I don't know. They need probably an offlaner. As
that Legion ban we've started seeing. 5th pick Legion has been pretty nice here, specifically against a Storm Spirit, right? You think maybe that's what J.Storm might have in mind?
Storm Spirit. Oh no, not the biggest fan. Storm against Tiny is not the easiest of matchups, honestly. I wouldn't.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't love the Storm versus Tiny. He doesn't have enough range to actually outrun a Tiny, and Tiny can burst you down easily. They don't have much consistent gadgets, to be honest, which makes Storm a bit more viable. We have seen Storm a lot. I think there's a huge preference for that guy, especially since the just whoosh of the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, now that I take a look at the draft here coming up from fighting Pepegas, it may be a bit scary. Naga roots into Ice Path into Arrow is kind of a pretty consistent setup if they can catch him, of course.
And you also have the Song into Ice Path, which is guaranteed every time.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's even better.
Or Song into Arrow, actually. Song into anything, really. They have Avalanche, Arrow, and Ice Path.
Remember when this reminds me of that one meta where it was like Naga Song into Disruptor into Jakira, you know, where everyone was just using Song as a big setup spell. Old Naga, when everyone just cores would just farm stats in the jungle for 20 minutes and come out and farm. Good times. Good times. Yeah, that's exactly
not
right.
Good
It's
times.
very boring.
Not for casters, I assure you.
No.
When you're there and you're like you were in the drafting phase, like you call your girlfriend like I'm coming back and just one more game, 1 hour. They pick the Naga. You go, actually I'm not coming back tonight. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow.
And then you're like, maybe mid lane it'll be exciting. Never mind. It's a DP versus CK. Never mind.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. I mean the DP versus CK. I like the the matchups in the early game. I like the small things. I enjoy them. But the Naga just made games so unrealistically long. Man, I'm telling you, I remember when you would do 18-hour cast back in the day because they couldn't afford real casters, and then you would just get to the last hour cast, and you're starting to see things, cats are jumping around you, and they pick the Naga Siren, and you go, why? You curse the world. But now, Naga Siren, it's much more exciting to watch. I actually really like this hero, in all honesty. Because, aside from the jokes, there is this nice little peak of utility with the Manta-style Diffusal Blade and the small window of opportunity, which makes this hero very exciting. It's like 10 to 15 minutes when Naga is the best hero on the map, and then he starts to fall off a bit. Not the best late-game hero anymore. There's actually a risk in picking this woman. Fish, whatever. And fighting Pepegas now. Let's see what I decide to go for. This last pick, it's going to be an Enchantress. Okay. Okay, interesting. That's a classic CK counter. And a pretty good NA staple, or American staple, honestly. Still pretty valued here in this region. Both South American and North American teams still picking up, no, not somewhat regularly.
Yeah. I'm a little bit scared of this landing stage, though. Early on, the Undying, level 1 Decay and Fear, we saw yesterday, he picked himself for the Undying as well. Played it masterfully. He might be the maiden here, actually. I suspect they might put the Undying on the 4 so he can pick up a few items. This is really interesting, actually, because Centaur generally is going to be... I'm keep delving into the point that I keep wanting to make, but either way, remind me if I don't come back to it. Ench having a tough lane stage, obviously, right? But I wonder who's going to play the 4 here. I suspect it's going to be the Undying 4 here, which is interesting because normally he wants to pick up a few auras, but Centaur is normally going to want to do that as well, right? So
I want CM4 actually in Undying 5.
Really?
Yes. I would love that. I think, well, I mean, I do like Fear on Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, he's going to go Fear, yeah.
No, yeah, so Fear on the Undying.
Fear on the Undying, yes, that's what I meant.
I do love Fear on the CM, but I will say Moose is one of his staples, so he does love this little princess. Actually, I do remember a stream a long time ago. You do follow this guy in his personal streams where it was a bunch of Peruvian players got drunk, and this is a little princess stream. And he just played Little Princess, but it was a murdering princess, so it was very hilarious.
Oh,
but anyway, this guy is a top Crystal Maiden player. I think that heroes for Moose, you have either two options, right? You either go for this greedy like Enigma kind of roaming, even Mirana sometimes. This kind of heroes that can really roam around the map and destroy everyone. He did like Clockwork back in the day, etc. Or you go for these incredibly fragile fours like Rubik or Crystal Maiden. He somehow doesn't die, or when he dies, it's because he's killing your whole team, right?
Yeah.
I have seen some really good moves, freezing fields. Also on this note, I think Crystal Maiden 4 is actually better. I honestly find her to be really good. We've seen GH, for example, play the Crystal Maiden where you transition to a Desolator, right? It's not uncommon. But I don't want to talk about this 4-5. I kind of want to talk about the Bristol Black a bit because this is the last pick for them. It's their answer to some degree to the Tiny, their answer to definitely to the Naga Siren as well. And not entirely uncommon on 9. So I very much like this. I think this Bristol Pack is really solid, frankly. This Bristol Pack offers a nice amount of area damage, very brutal against Tiny, especially with an early stack of Nasal Goo. He is not an easy hero to lane against either, which means Tiny can't simply outlast you, which is usually his technique. You try to arrow him, he might just barely survive, honestly. You have to really position yourself properly. The toss, not the best technique against a Bristleback, because you do take away some damage with that passive as well. I like him. He's also very good with a Stampede. So, this is going to be a good match no matter what, honestly. I'm very excited.
They're going to need a break here on both sides. Would really benefit both teams, though. Don't you think?
Break?
Yeah, one for the Ench, one for the Bristle.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought you meant like like, I think these teams need a break. Like, they've been playing for a long time.
They've been playing very long, yes, of course. Let's take a look here at the lineup. Moon meandered on the Ench. I'll let him bot for now. Maybe just trying to contest these bottom runes here on the side of the river.
I will say, by the way, just on that note, that I don't think breaks are the way to counter anything, Chandra. I think it's the BKBs. I think BKB is much more useful. Break, you get 5 seconds of Untouchable not being down, and sure, you can murder her then, and your whole team can murder her. That's fine. But first of all, applying the break takes a while, so that's a really annoying thing, as opposed to things like evasion, for example, or break goes through it. And if you just use BKB for 10 seconds, you can pummel her. Bristleback is a traditional BKB carrier. He likes to go for this item. It's not uncommon to go for that in CK. So, yeah, I don't think the guys at J.Storm are interested in a break. And for fighting Pepegas, I don't really know who goes for the break. Maybe the Tiny with the Silver Edge?
Yeah, it's both a bit awkward here, right? I almost want one on the CK. Just could you imagine, just maybe if you do want to go for this route, if Moon Meander becomes a problem, go for that Silver Edge and just Phantasm in and just absolutely blow up an Ench, right? I mean, take that out of the equation, goes through BKB, potentially with the talent here on CK, I think at 20, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, might be good. 150 GPM, though, also very strong, so be interested as how they decide to deal with it. A lot of this will depend here on how their lanes go as well. And with Fear on the Undying, we saw him really make a lot of work happen even last game, even as the 5, which he is very successful at. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. So Moon Meander going to be pretty consistently harassed down to pretty much 300 HP in the early levels. Makes it a really easy target, especially with the nerf to the Nature's Attendance. So keep that in mind.
Yes, that nerf to nature attendance makes a lane against, especially physical carries, quite harder because you now have to take the choice. Oh,
Yeah, still hasn't even leveled it. Yep, there we go. 420 strength now on Moon Meandered. We'll go ahead and level up those Nature's Attendants, but Moose and Fear. Striking fear into the heart here of the Enchantress.
oh, already forced nature's attendance. So what you want to do is get the max decay stack so the nature's attendance to heal you as much as possible. But here's one thing actually. So Enchanters, actually not the worst of armors, right? But you have a Crystal Main with the little attack speed buffs. Everyone's like, well, what do I care if my Crystal Main actually attacks a bit faster? Actually, kind of considerable. She has a pretty decent range, a good attack animation, and not the worst of damage for an end support. So you can actually harass the Enchantress constantly, and until she gets to the level of Untouchable, that's all this Crystal Maiden will be doing. In fact, now Moose, with the level of Crystal Nova and the typical Mango build, is harassing Snake almost out of the lane. There's no question. You have an Enchantress and a Mirana. They can both offer some auto attack harassment, but they don't offer any sort of skill harassment. Versus, in this case, a Crystal Nova and Crystal Maiden. She is so much better at winning the lane right now. The enemy team has kill potential, but you have the harassment, and that is much more valuable at level 1 and 2.
Definitely. Ping's already coming out onto Moon Meandered. And nice job of Fear there. Just goes top, harasses the Ench, keeps right of lane for a while, gives Brax some nice XP advantage, right? Secures him a few last hits, then TP's back bottom, immediately applying the pressure here now onto Envy as the Reality Rift will pull him a bit closer here. Fear. Ooh, yeah, top lane, look at the kill. They might get... Nope, they'll be okay, actually. He's all good, but Brax gets the kill here onto Moon Meandered.
Yeah, and Moon Meander here, I mean, we were talking about this. He has a difficulty with the points. You have a nature tendency, so you're weak to the natural physical damage anyway. Now you finally get the Enchantress versus CK matchup that you were hoping for. Rotate him in there. Don't have to deal with a Crystal Maiden either, which is the bane of Moon Meander's existence right now. Burst magical damage is not what the Enchantress wants to deal with. However, it's not like CK is too screwed over by this, honestly. You can kind of harass him, but he has a good amount of armor, really good healing anyway, and he can constantly harass you with Chaos Bolt, just because you have a Crystal Maiden in your team. In fact, look at this. There they go. Moon, again, the target. He has to eat a tree, and it was just a simple, harassment, forcing all our nature's attendants, making sure that next turn they can kill her off.
Yep, Envy has rotated top now, snaking, being harassed quite effectively here by Moose. Back to the fountain to regen back up. We'll be here to support Envy. Checking out mid lane matchup here, 17-4 compared to the 14-2, so 9. Keeping it just about even though, but as we get more levels here into the Bristleback and of course the Quill Spray, I'd expect that to change a bit. A lot of damage potential here. Positioning from 9, of course, being a Bristleback going to be key in surviving.
Yeah, the Bristleback. Oh, wait, top lane. Yeah. So Moose first. She is being melted down right now. This poor Crystal Maiden. Moose trying to get away from the illusions. A bit difficult. Eternal Envy will make her life hell, and now they body block her enough so they can get the last hit onto her. So this is one of the weaknesses of having a Crystal Maiden. Might be a lot of harassment, but also can be easily killed off in the middle lane. 9. He has this Arcane Aura, which allows him to actually bully Brile considerably, but whenever Brile gets that combo off of Avalanche Toss, the damage is still pretty high. Yep. Especially when you can only go for 1 point in Merciful. You need to max the Quill Spray, you need 1 point in Merciful.
So all that damage onto Moon as well is so effective. What's this called? What's this crit? Yeah, Chaos Strike, of course, how could I forget? The Chaos Knight has the Chaos Strike, why wouldn't he? But that's so much damage getting pumped on. And in they go. Reality Rift. I think that's level 2 untouchable though, so the heal is going to be pretty weak. Fear, as he wants to do on the Undying, has got 2 levels in the Soul Rip here early on.
Top lane, Brax got a quick kill on the Jakiras. In the mid lane, they also take down 9. In the mid lane, they got a, because I'm assuming you didn't see, they just Avalanche tossed them into a Mirana just jumping in and actually murdering them. And I don't know if the arrow wasn't actually used. In the top lane, they just caught a Jakiro low on HP and they finished them off with a return. Not like big plays by any means. So, what we saw here for fighting Pepegas, or in the bottom lane, I would like to talk about this a bit. Because
that arrow, snaking.
The Moon Meander build that he's going for is actually due to the rotation that he committed early. So, usually the Enchantress, like I said, she lacks points. She wants to put points in everything because she doesn't have the experience to do so. But because she knows now she's against the CK, and especially the Undying, there's a lack of magical damage. So you don't need extra healings. You can just go for the Untouchable. They do manage to steal the Bounty Rune, but Moo could be in trouble here. Reality Rift is unfortunately not so great at harassing the Enchanters. There's Nature Attendant. Healing. Oh, not enough apparently. Yep. Soul Rip used last second. That's what killed her. Yep. She was not expecting that Soul Rip level 2 already.
8 strength missing from her as well, so...
Yep.
Her max HP at 480 here at level 3. Those GG branches actually pretty nice for her getting in those stats. Makes a bit of a difference. Not enough, clearly, there, but maybe more levels than Untouchable might help out here a bit. As Fear now rotating around. I think he's solo shrined. Absolutely. Hell yeah, brother. This position 5 needs a shrine every now and then, don't they?
Sure.
See if he's able to make a play mid lane. Has leveled 1 point into the tombstone.
In this case, you're considering, okay, does my CK need mana? No. Arcane Art, does my CK need healing? No. Okay, I'll strike. So, do I need healing and mana? Yes. Can I use this shrine? Or would I rather commit suicide? Well, you don't want to wait a minute doing nothing, right? So, and you don't want to get the kill either to the Enchantress to recover. Because the best thing you can do, honestly, when you're playing against Momeander is just crush his lane. And hopefully he doesn't recover. This happens often. Moon is used to this, by the way. Like, he's the sacrificial pawn in many of his teams. But crushing his lane allows you to have a pretty good advantage early on, and it's not like he's playing a hero that is the best at recovering, so that's a really nice start.
Yep, agreed. Mid lane, this ward got scouted out immediately. Bryle had the courier ready, delivered a ward, but 9 was just watching him, just placed out in that ward. Oh my goodness, I just looked away for a second. They got another kill down bottom.
What is this production? I'm going to fire this guy.
Come on, man.
Observer. This Observer is just the worst, man.
Chaos spot now. Getting that kill, or certainly helping out. 3 levels in the Chaos Strike here, so he's going to be maxing that. It's pretty good. I think he's not really able to trade so often with Moon, obviously, so anytime he can, needs to be more effective. Needs to get more value. So TP1 down bottom. It's going to be Moose now. So many MOOs in this lane. Oh, they're going to take the jump. Actually, they didn't get the heals out. Oh, they finally will. Arrow coming through. Will connect here onto Moo, but Moo's connecting now.
Crystal Nova in 3 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think
Magic
they can
stick?
quite get this. Oh, with Decay, yeah, they're going to be able to get this, actually. They can commit the Tombstone. Moo closing the gap now. Ooh, Reality Rift canceled, I believe. I think he could have gotten that off, but you never know where that's going to connect. It leaves you somewhere between you two, but it's completely random.
I thought they changed it to exactly the middle.
No, I think it's, oh, maybe they did, actually.
Oh, no, it's a long line between the two of you. But it's just the cast range, though. It's, okay. Because it used to be that was actually literally completely random. It was kind of annoying, but now it's much more consistent. Where because you do get pulled to some degree a bit. Yeah. Rank in Dota 1, you could get stuck in the tree so often. That was just the thing with CK. I'm stuck in the trees again.
You don't see this anymore, but before the interaction used to, when Tether did stun, what used to behoove you to go CK Wisp. No longer a thing anymore.
Oh, it used to be a thing. Yeah. Exactly. CK Wisp is not good for a lot of reasons, mainly the fact that CK is just not that great.
Yeah, of course. As getting rooted up is the bottom, snaking, forced to leap away. Leap on cooldown now for 30 seconds as we get a Stampede top lane. Envy in a bit of trouble. The healing salve will not be enough. A little bit too close there to Brax, level 4.
Bottom lane, they also get a quick kill onto Moon, and so the harassment continues. Fighting Pepegas, they're doing a very good job right now. Even... Please. do not. Just there. With the loss of 9 here in the middle lane, that's pretty bad because you're losing your Space Creator ideally on the personal pack, but the CK is committing his job. He is getting the early kills, he's doing the push that he should be doing. J.Storm quite happy with how this game is progressing, even if the loss of the personal pack is not the ideal situation. The Centaur's also having a pretty good time. Brax actually leading in net worth charts. Honestly, Bristle's not that far off. He's only 400 gold away from his counterpart in the mid lane, and he is beating EE by quite a lot right now. However, Turtle Envy will nicely recover regardless in the jungle because he is playing Naga Siren, so it doesn't really matter.
2 deaths on 9, both pretty early on, still definitely impactful. So we'll smoke behind the tier 1 here. Aoi going with Bryle, maybe trying to find a kill bot lane as we'll put down another ward here. Lots of wards. Good control here. I think they might scout Moo as he's gone to the camp. Smoke will break onto 2 as it's going to be Fear the target here. Moo's nearby as well, but so is Moo as now Tombstone getting dropped. 2-second Chaos Bolt onto Aoi 2000, dropping the Ice Path. Nicely juked out by all 3 heroes of J.Storm. Gonna pick up that kill.
Okay, Aoi 2000. Dead in the water in the top pool. No,
actually he didn't die in the river, but dying in the river perhaps here will be Moo as the impetus stacks will be charging up. Look at that damage here. Moo's gonna secure the rune, likely to die for this.
Worth it though. He gives 191 gold, got 300 gold for his team. Definitely, simple maths. Also, Dead in the Water is an expression, and you knew that, so don't
I know, it
jump.
was just a very good transition as they will transition onto mid lane here, onto Envy. He has no song, he's already used it to try and escape. Beautiful Ice Path onto 2 from Aoi 2000, now respawning into the arrow onto 9. The Macropire damage is too much for him to handle.
Here's the counter now with fighting Pepegas starting to get into their strong point, right, with the Tiny actually being able to gank now. Jakiro just acquired the Macropire, pretty big as well, a good burst in damage. And of course the impetus also on Moon Meander, we're starting to start to see some kills all over the map. These guys just got to their first peak in the game, I would say, whereas J.Storm just lost that peak, right, because they usually are stronger in the laning phase, not so much once they get to that level 6.
Fear scouted Bryle walking in, he scouts Aoi as well, rotating through thanks to the ward, and he's like, no thank you. Goes ahead and TP's out of harm's way.
Smart. Sometimes the position 5 might want to like stay here for the potential denial of the tower or whatever. It's a waste of time. You also don't want to give any recovery kills to Moon Meander, who's actually recovering okay, honestly. He's still 1k gold away from the Bristle, for example, and very far away from the Centaur, but slowly but steadily, this Enchanter is getting back to being relevant in this game. In the top lane, though, J.Storm decides to do the same that Fighting Pepegas is doing in the bottom lane and take a tower for them. Moo does not get that last set pesky catapult taken away from him. And this is why the Lions come out. As Fear fights Snaking now in the backlines. Fear realizes he should be afraid. Snaking, chasing after him. Snaking also realizing that this is not the easiest of engagements, especially because there's 4 people converging onto him right now.
Brax going to be TPing bottom, trying to slow down the push here from Moon, who's pushing with the catapult wave. It's a bit spooky. And this double edge doing a good amount of work. Very fast here on Moon, as Deer are wont to be. So able to just pop the Nature's Attendants to heal up quite a bit. But have they smoked up here? Nope, just rotated mid to clear the mid wave now. Pretty aggressive positioning here. Envy positioned pretty nicely here to fight if he wants to. He's actually going to go for the Boots of Travel first item here.
Yeah. Not uncommon on Nagasar.
Okay.
We see this build. We started seeing this build. I mean, what back in the day was the build for Ember and PL. When that was first started, like the Boots of Travel was actually a good item. It was just the build because you wanted to be able to fight and farm at the same time. You were good just with your spells. Nagasar is kind of like that. At bottom lane, is this? No, they're just waiting for him.
Brex is all alone here. There's a few heroes, only 2 actually, so could be a bit spooky. They've found Snaking once again, thanks to this Observer Ward in the jungle. He's going to have to use his leap charge to get away. Stampede as they try and close the gap onto Moon, but they will respond in kind with the Moonlight Shadow for Moon Meandered, as rotations from Envy as well as Bryle will actually get a counter kill there. So a bit too aggressive on the Stampede there on Brax. Maybe didn't expect too many heroes there, as Snaking again just running circles around them up here. Falls quite low, but is able to leap away to safety. Maybe? Fear dropping the Tombstone. They try and get this. Will not be able to. 16th strength stolen, but
no stuns, unfortunately, makes this a bit tougher. Now in the middle lane, 9 still potentially chasing after Ali. For now, he's just gonna. Nah, never mind. They're gonna keep this simple. So yeah, the Boots of Travel build allows you to fight and farm at the same time. It's very effective. And the Nagasaran first item, not crazy. You see it sometimes on Lina, though she's much more of a space creator. In the middle lane, Aoi is the target. Nice arrow though onto this bristleback as the Macropire starts coming out with the freezing field stopped immediately. There's a CK joining in though, trying to kill off Snaking. They toss Aoi, and Aoi does down the CM as he also gets brought down himself. Perhaps not the song now, which they have in combination
Level
together
4
with a toss. Ice Path now with the toss. That's a lot of area damage. Bristleback goes down first and falling him into the graveyard. It's gonna be Fear. Fear is gonna go down here. As Fighting Pepegas get another great team fight. Thanks to that song, thanks to the Jakiro combination, they have a really solid team fight potential.
I think this is something that you know, they're really, really great tiny players do. Sometimes you get them in your pubs, usually not. But I think we saw this a lot during TI, right, where people would either toss enemy heroes into the chrono. Bryle was doing this a lot yesterday on the tiny, if I'm not mistaken, as well, just tossing Aoi, tossing his supports, you know, to try and set up a great position in there. I was kind of joking around there, but then I realized what a great play that actually was, closing the gap, able to provide the slow. Envy closes the gap with the song and sets up 2 more kills there. Well played to them.
That's why Tiny, for example, is really good with these kind of supports that are a bit tankier that can withstand being thrown into the middle of the enemy, like Jakiro. This smoke, by the way.
Wait, what?
It's not the greatest smokes. Well, maybe Moon is just the actual bait here. And they are going to go. Okay, take the bait. Moon Meander now in trouble. The arrow comes in. Again. And Snaking immediately going to destroy that Tombstone as they toss Avalanche onto 3 here. Snaking getting away. Leaps back to safety, but they're going for Moo. He's the most important target. The tower's even helping them out. They toss him in, and they do get the kill. However, it's shared bounty. Now going for Brax next. Brax in the river, cannot get away. Also slowed down and destroyed. Moo's at least creating some space, dancing herself to safety, creates a snowman. How do you beat this Crystal Maiden? This usual grandma speed is helped out by the Tranquil Boots, and he even gets a frostbite, but Eternal Enemy from behind wraps around and assassinates her.
Yep, Snake King should be able to get Fear here as well, unless Fear gets some god tier jukes. Yeah, hard to juke around in there. A little bit of ring around the Rosie. Nah, Eel's gonna die anyway. Fear did a good job trying to just shove in their face right here mid lane, but unfortunately wasn't able to. As 9 could be in some trouble as well, which would complete the team wipe here for fighting Pepegas, but doesn't look like they're gonna quite be able to. Brax now TPing back in, has completed the Pipe of Insight here as well, so it's gonna be very nice against Bryle. As well as Aoi, actually. Oh, that arrow from Snake King, though, perfectly placed. Bryle able to secure the kill onto 9.
9 is having such a tough time. He's not able to withstand all the stunts the enemy team has, and they can just essentially circle around and makes his burst back useless. Aoi 2000 behind. Brax does see him. I don't know if he wants to get the denial. They know he's here. There we go, gets denial, but Brax, so you can give your life for this. It seems like it. As he can't even get the stomp off, unfortunately.
Yep, Bryle. Nice position in there, well out of range, thanks to the tree grab.
Yep. And now, are they going for a kill in the top lane as well? Moo alone, they scan him, so they know more or less where he is. There we go, that reveals his positioning. Aoi trying to go for the clutch ice path, but Moo is very fast. He's on a horse.
He is.
So that's 4 legs, you know, it's just faster than 2.
What was I going to say? Completely forgot here.
They're going to take the tier 1 tower up in the top lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And that's going to be the tier 1 down, which means a bit more gold for them. However, Moomy under the middle lane in trouble. Well, maybe not, actually.
There's that big crit coming through finally. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and turn. Trying to burn off all of that armor there, with thanks to the viscous nasal goo. Armlet up on Chaos Knight, which makes his ult that much better. So maybe going to try and get this level 2 ulti here, then maybe consider fighting before BKBs come out here. Envy's got his Yasha though. I think he's going to have the match style recipe on the way, so now he just needs the ultimate orb. Whoa, catfight.
Yeah, quite literally. But yeah, it does seem like the Armlet is the build for him. Is much more of, I mean, it's a very traditional build, honestly, but he's going for BKB immediately after. I like the BKB build. Honestly, relying on your illusions against an Enchantress does not seem like the easiest of things.
Arrow's going to scout out Brax, although it won't find him quite, well, it won't stun him, right? But it does find him here. Stampede will be committed, trying to get himself away mid lane. They might use this to try and engage, and they're going to jump here onto Moon Meander as the cat jumps out of the table as well. Fear dropping the Tombstone, maybe trying to get something here, but they just don't quite have the burst to get through Ench yet, and that's a level 4 untouchable, so, I mean, doing what the skill is, right? Quite untouchable, Moon Meandered for now. Is great vision here, aggressive ward, moves. Ooh, the enchant comes a second too late, but the ice path is there from Aoi. And that's plenty enough lockdown.
Okay, you only got a kill of moves there, but you know, at least you took advantage of that engagement up top. Brax though could be in trouble again as Bryle sees him. He decides that it's not the greatest of fights. In fact, Snaking and Moon Meander kind of behind them. Bit of an awkward placing right now. Bryle against 3. They're trying to go for him. Phantasm committed just for this kill, and it's gonna work if it wasn't because of this song of the Siren. Making sure they can't get close to his teammates. They hug together. They know they're invulnerable right now, and they're just going to walk away. Even Moon Meander from behind, just, you know, they disengage.
I like this build by Bryle as well. He's gone straight Echo Saber, straight Aghanim Scepter, no Blink Dagger. It's a bit risky, but I think they've been finding engagements without really too much of an issue, right? So, especially with this, it's going to be some more area control. Maybe try and force Fear out. Split team fights in 2, you know. Good, obviously move slow to slow down people in these stampedes, so it's a good pick.
Well, let's see, the target now is the Undying. Impetus immediately with the arrow.
Very
Undying
dead.
is gone. Yep, unfortunately. And fighting Pepegas, it's time for them to go for the next kill here. Perhaps 9 in the middle lane. They're starting to really take over the enemy side of the map, honestly. They already have really offensive wards in the jungle. They're starting to put offensive wards in their triangle as well. Still not the warded with these sentries. And it's just about choking them a bit in terms of farm. Fighting Pepegas did not start the game so well, but starting to get all the kills here.
Yep.
I think getting close to the Naga peak as well.
They just smoked under a ward here as well on J.Storm. Smoke's going to break here on the low ground. I think
Howie knows that's why he's trying to break it.
Yep, Envy just running in here, trying to get that 20-minute rune.
That's his Envy's play.
Absolutely, but he's going to be okay, actually. Ice Path splitting the teams fight into 2 here, as now they've got Moon meandered completely alone as well. Envy might run back in here. They have no Song of the Siren, though, and there's going to be the Maiden ulti. Freezing Field getting popped here, trying to nuke down the Sand, take rid of her strength, pull her even closer. She's got that full pipe of insight, but is it enough? It's going to be a full channel of Freezing Field, and still, they take all 5 heroes. Finally, the double edge is going to be able to secure the kill.
Honestly, that was absurd. That was absurd.
It kind of was, yeah.
Whole Freezing Field, and Enchanter's still alive. Their cast was like, guys, you going to kill me today, or... And fighting Pepegas there actually get a lot of space just because of that kill. Honestly, yes, sure, you lose Enchantress, but this is why you pick Enchantress. Take long to die. Waste time. Show that your main carry, in this case the Naga Siren, gets farmed. And now EE is already with his Manta style. He can fight this next team fight. He has a Song of the Siren
2
as
TPs
well.
in as well. Under the cover of Moonlight Shadow, they might try and make the jump here. Just really want to... Oh, we're not going to get the chances. There's another haste rune here on Bryle. Maybe that's why he doesn't need a Blink Dagger. He just keeps getting haste runes. 9 trying to entice them. Fight me. I'm a juicy bristleback there. Going to go ahead and drop. Now the Macapire onto 1, getting rooted up as Centaur. Beautiful initiation onto Envy. They're going to be able to blow him up. No Song of the Siren gets the opportunity to jump. Now moves buying back Bryle with a double kill. He's going to get gone on now. 2-second stun thanks to the Chaos Bolt. Is it going to be enough though? 9 continually staying alive. Nice Ice Path onto 3 from Aoi. As now Moo will perish. They'll be able to dispatch him. 9 will be next. Make quick work of him thanks to the Spirit Vessel here on Snaking. Now Fear trying his best to toggle the R, take the aggro, but Arrow will sail through. They know Moose is here. I don't really think they can catch him though.
Yeah, that was a really good team fight here by fighting Pepegas. Sure, you lose EE in the beginning of that, but a fantastic Ice Path to me, honestly, turned it around. Aoi 2000 on this Jakiro, showcasing why this hero can always be played in any meta. If you're good enough, those Ice Paths will be worth it. And now fighting Pepegas deciding to go for this top lane, just a quick tower here. They forced the Glyph. Unfortunately, that means that they don't, I don't know, they won't stay for the tower, it seems
I think
like.
they can push mid though. I think they,
no, they can't.
Yeah,
they're coming back.
respawning.
No. You want to take the tier 2 tower and walk away, but unfortunately the Glyph stops them. At least they don't put him in deny range. They can consider Roshan. They do have a Medallion and a Naga Siren, but it does seem like for now they're just going to be continually pushing, shoving out the lanes, and waiting for that Diffusal Blade on EE.
I think he could go for it here.
Oh, Ags on the Tiny. So that's crucial, actually. That's the next big thing. He also went for the Echo Saber, so yeah, have a slow.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be pretty useful.
Waiting for a crit now.
Vela Discord on Aoi as well. I think they're just going to go straight into Rosh. They got great Rosh control. They just really can't afford to fight them here, especially because of the tree volley. I think he's going to go, Blink next? Indeed he is. Then probably after that, BKB. And from there, we'll see what Fighting Pepegas lack is untouchable. Making this a pretty nice and quick and easy Rosh. Look at all this minus armor as well. Medallion as well as the Riptides.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite an easy Rosh, to be honest. They have arrows, they have the Untouchable. It's just they have a pretty... Not the fastest Rosh taking lineup like with an Ursa or a Troll or like an even, but...
It's very secure though.
It's very secure. And again, as you mentioned, they can really defend the pit. There's not many ways that J.Storm can initiate. They have a Tombstone in Freezing Field, but they have to know beforehand. And even with the Stampede, it's a bit of a hazinization.
Yeah,
About haze, by the way. There's a smoke here.
Bryle actually clits Aegis there as well. They decided against giving it to Envy.
Bryle is more likely to die because he's going to jump in here, for example, on 9.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the Blink Dagger, though, unfortunately, so he is just looking for the right positioning. Meanwhile, from behind, Eternal Envy, he's acting as bait here. Songless Siren, he's thinking about using it. Moonlight Shadow's been used. He's been dusted for now. Stampede just to get away. They acknowledge this is not the fight they want to take. There's the song. It's only for Moose, though.
Yeah, they're trying to catch Moo. Oh, the arrow will scout him again. Not quite connecting, though. Into the secret trap he goes. The Snake King will close the gap onto him. Just trying his best to TP out, but AUI 2000 is there with the Ice Path to promptly cancel that, as they're going to give the kill there to Aoi, actually. Fear gets caught out behind the tier 1 tower here. Maybe just trying to escape, is unable to, as Bryle will dispatch of him, hunting him down.
Yeah, take down the Tombstone for free there as well, so that's a bit of an extra gold. Actually worth more than Fear's life, honestly. And Moo dying there is massive, as now you can start putting the push, not really afraid of anything anything can do to you. In fact, Moose will be the next target, and snared up. There's the arrow, and the combo's good. Eternal Envy gets the kill. And he's going to go for a BKB next. Interesting.
Man, this fighting Pepegas vision has just been on point all game. They finally gotten all the wards out of the jungle here on the side of J.Storm during that Roshan. But they've still got wards to deal with here in their upper triangle farm area. And this vision game for fighting Pepegas has been on point. Since they pushed actually this tier 2 down bottom, it was pretty early. I want to say before 15 minutes they had that down. They just had like almost complete control of the jungle. More or less uncontested as well. So just been something to note. You know, EE's just been casually farming. He just, you know, is walking up for runes, no problem. He's feeling comfortable, and it's kind of how fighting Pepegas have seemed to play this entire game, isn't it?
Yeah, but J.Storm keeps trying to go for these smokes, those illusions. Because 9 got revealed, and they thought, oh, maybe one of them is the real one, but no, it was actually Envy in the low ground. But yeah, it seemed like they had much more control over this game. Honestly, the early game against 9, I think, is what made them so confident. You managed to stop the space grading enemy team, and CK had to fulfill that role. Not ideal. Unfortunately, as CK, yes, a good early game, but then you want to continue getting kills. You can't just kind of stop there, because you have no way of matching a Nagasiren's farm. There's so much more pressure on a team that has a bad farmer, because you have to farm heroes. You have to get the kills. Nagasiren doesn't need to. She can just go jungle. So that is probably why J.Storm seems so just unfortunately not there. They just don't seem to be as comfortable in their skin. Talk about comfortable. It seems like fighting Pepegas right now are comfortable pushing down this tower. They have a catapult together with them.
Yep. They know there's still heroes up here. 9 just still chilling. Most of the J.Storm heroes have now retreated behind the tier 2 onto the high ground. Moo almost eaten an arrow there. Would have been quite unfortunate, as 10-second BKB here on the CK. Not quite level 15 yet, though. Let's see what he decides to get there. Maybe if they're trying to hold off on the fight. In fact, no heroes here on the J.Storm side, still 15 yet. Oh, just kidding. Brax is. My apologies. He's got that Blink Dagger, Pipe of Insight, as well as now the double-edged strength damage. So that's, I think he's taking that to really help here against the against Moon Meandered.
Yeah, they need to kill Moon Meander, and you have 1 BKB now on the CK though, so that's gonna help a bit. But
yes, absolutely.
You need the burst damage as well onto your from your team. Sorry, it's really gonna help out here. And we'll see now from J.Storm, because they don't have really initiation.
Look at Envy down bottom. Speaking of initiation, he might just consider his team's a bit too far away. Actually, now that I think about it, look how confident he is though. He
like has a scythe actually as his next item, which I'm very interested in. So. As opposed to the BKB, he was thinking of queuing up a BKB. He had a BKB queued up, but now Scythe is a bit better, especially for Nagasiren. I'm not the biggest fan of BKB Naga. And the Scythe buy is something that this guy has been picking up as a second item a lot. Skipping over the Fusel Blade, doesn't really care about it. He knows he has enough damage regardless. Scythe, so valuable here, especially now that CK got a BKB. If you can get it before the next engagement, you're done. This is your catch. You have a good setup stun now, and then everything that goes afterwards, the Ice Path arrow, etc., etc. is just set.
The only thing, you know, they still got an ace in the hole here. Moo has that BKB though, could make a difference.
Yes, that's why the Scythe is coming out. I think that's they saw the BKB. I mean, it was revealed, and he was again thinking. He was debating between 2 things.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see who gets the opportunity or the better jump. I think is going to make the difference. Buyback not available on the CK either, so they've got to get it right here on the side of J.Storm. Otherwise, things will be looking quite dire for them. Again, this vision, it will smoke. As Brax, now smoke will break. They're going to find Moon. Do they have vision here? They need the detection. They absolutely do have it, but Moon Meandered so tanky as we now have the tree volley from the low ground here. Bryle getting a few trees out, but it's enough. Fear getting nukes down. Song of the Siren to set up. Aoi looking to try and get the most heroes. Looks like this is going to be the one here. Nope, instead he's going to get the 2 cores. Obviously, you're going to want to do that. Into the Macropyre they go. Tossed up. Ooh, in a poor position there is Moose as EE able to make quick work of it. Now Brax will die. Moo forced to use the BKB defensively to secure his escape, as he will be the only survivor here. The rest of the team will get ran down by the fighting Pepegas.
They cannot even contest this team fight. The idea originally was that at least they can disengage the Centaur and have really, really good counter initiation with just the Bristleback existing, the Undying Tombstone, the Freezing Field, but not against the Song of the Siren. It just cancels all of these spells. It's such a great way to deal with them, a great initiation, and the Ice Path to follow up is just fantastic. Fighting Pepegas is having the utmost domination. They're looking for the Centaur. It's the Undying first, Centaur. Oh, sorry, CK going in forward and trying to get the kill on Nagasiren, but EE a bit too tanky to even give him Solar Crest. They're going to take the towers instead. He's going to heal back up. And CK, you don't have a BKB, you can't really do much. In fact, Mood's actually being stopped by the illusions that he's producing here. And they're just going to take towers and probably back away. Or Rack, sorry, and back away. There's nothing else you need to do.
Rax him back, maybe get to second tier 3, and then you leave. You still have Aegis, actually.
Yeah, you can keep on
No,
fighting.
you don't, actually. That's a lie.
But no, but you can keep on fighting regardless. Doesn't matter. It's just these guys are very confident. They drop the illusions. They have the constant liquid fire anyway, snaking. Together with Moon Meander, these two ranged heroes addressing onto these racks. Nice ice path onto 2. The tree volley as well. They're gonna go for 9. They're just splitting the damage and they get Moo first. And Moo doesn't have a buyback right now. 50 seconds without him. The Knocker Power gets stopped as well. Brax going in for Bryle, hoping to get the kill, but the ice path stops him yet again. A 2-mine ice path onto the cores. 9, the next target. And even with his Bristle back, he is just gonna go down. Moose unfortunately can't do anything, and this is a team wipe with a GG included. Fighting Pepegas get that win. Very confidently, honestly.
That ice path is huge coming out from Aoi. He got it before 9 could turn around. That team fight might have gone ever so slightly differently if he did get, you know, a few more quill sprays off. I think Bryle dies there. Maybe they're not as confident. Who knows? But from there, Fighting Pepegas will take game number 1 as this Envy stack is turning heads here, most likely. J.Storm, their head will roll. Game 1, though. It was a very impressive performance. Bryle 12-0 here. My goodness. Envy actually with the least kills. Of course, Envy cute support for this game, so that's why he has the fewest, kills, obviously. But very well played by them, honestly. So we look forward to what they'll be doing for game 2. Do you think I think that went too wrong here for J.Storm, or was it just an outdraft? Maybe lanes didn't go quite well. 9 didn't get the start he needed.
I don't think it was. I mean, the Enchantress pick, I gotta say, was really good against what they were showing. You lacked the magical damage to really bring her down in the early to mid game, and then once the BKBs came out, it's a bit too late. Usually you want a farmer that can grab a BKB really easily, and CK unfortunately is not that. I gotta say, it's just a very difficult draft to execute, and it's very easy to make mistakes on this kind of draft, because if this doesn't work in the beginning, in this case not working means Bristleback dying a couple times, you're kind of screwed. CK unfortunately just cannot farm as much as Naga Siren. I honestly don't know if it was much of an outdraft as much as what, like the original proposition by J.Storm just wasn't that great against what the Fighting Pepegas did. They could have won it, but it was a very tall order. And the Fighting Pepegas guys knew exactly how to counter them. It was go against Bristleback, cancel the Space Creator, stop the CK from farming. Look at 9. He was 0-8-2. Yep. He had 0 impact this game. Yep. Much like his kills.
2 deaths early on for 9. Spells disaster here for J.Storm. Stick around, guys. Game number 2 here coming up shortly. We'll see if J.Storm can force a game 3 or if it's going to be Fighting Pepegas fighting in the grand finals here for qualification to the 2019 ESL 1 Hamburg event. We'll be right back, guys. See you soon.
Step lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go. Brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
It's grand final time. Watch it live The Vodafone 5G ESL Mobile Open. Tune in on the 28th and 29th of September.
So this is it. This is where it all started. The great business of DHL.
You remember when we still use these?
We have all come a long way since then.
Hey, Effie, my little buddy. I got a special job for you. And this is only the beginning.
Life is made up by special moments that touch us. A touch of genius, an inspirational touch, and a touch of magic. Some touches are simply unique. Euronics, a human touch in a digital world.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go. Brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. Remember where you came from. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
It's grand final time. Watch it live. The Vodafone 5G ESL Mobile Open. Tune in on the 28th and 29th of September.
This game fuel. It's domination in a can. Tastes like loser tears.
New Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
To unmute myself, there we go. Welcome back, guys. Game number 2 here, fighting Pepegas. The EE stack putting in one hell of a fight here against J.Storm, as they will fall in game number 1. The Swordfish, and so you can strike here at the call. On the call, rather.
We are the casters, in case you didn't get that flop.
What, on the call?
On the call. Is that what we say?
It's a very
I thought that's what doctors said.
No, on the call. It's a very common expression in sports.
Never heard of that. Never. What's sports? I've heard of I've heard of esports.
It's like sports without the E and the dash and the capital S.
Oh, right.
Somewhere Red Eye just like, he like looked behind him. Is like someone just.
Oh, you know when you feel a chill in your ear. You know, in Japan actually, when they talk about your death or like something bad happened to you, your shoelaces break. That's like a bad omen.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's like a thing. So if your shoelaces break, then it's like, oh, you're gonna die, buddy.
I've never actually had my shoelaces break before.
Well, that's because you never died. Fighting Pepegas, Shadow Demon Night Stalker, J.Storm go for the Kunkan Undying. Fighting Pepegas already starting with a pretty powerful early to mid game draft. I love this Night Stalker.
Oh, he's such a good Shadow Demon as well.
He is always just such a good player.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Yeah, fair.
I'm so happy to see this guy playing again. Honestly, he was coach for a while, and I'm sure he's a great coach. Like I've seen his videos and stuff, and like his explanation videos, and he does seem like someone that can really coach and captain team. But man, as a player, did I miss him. Because he wasn't particularly known for his game knowledge. Was not the reason you picked him. It was because he's actually a really good mechanical 4 back in the day. He was one of the better 4s. Greedy 4 as well. Everyone's like, I don't know, Awei's too greedy. Then he won TI. I was like, Awei's actually great. Awei's actually one of the best players out there. And he still is. With a Shadow Demon Night Star combination, you have a very solid early game. Look at this. You have harassment from Shadow Poison and the Void. So a lot of magic damage harassment. No Enchantress pick is possible for J.Storm, honestly, here. And now with the Earthshaker. You have the harassment already, why not go for the kill potential? Earthshaker brings that to you and some nice team fight. I mean, we've seen this fighting Pepegas really prioritize that team fight potential as well. Whereas J.Storm, this time they do go for picks they're very comfortable with. The Kunkka 9. They even go first pick on this because they know how important it is for them.
Reckon it's a Shaker 4, right? Snaking Earthshaker.
Yes. For sure. Not only snaking one of the better Earthshakers in the world, I would say, but it's also a pretty common, 4 here. I think Shaker 4 is taking a lot of more predominance. Shaker 3 was okay for a while because he used to rush Ags, but nowadays they realize there's better heroes to fulfill that role. And because Night Stalker's back in the meta, Shaker is better because Night Stalker's a hero that offers a lot of harassment in the lane. Very few offlaners do that. You have like Magnus, but he's garbage. You have some like Centaur that offers a bit of harassment. But Night Stalker offers both harassment in the early game with the Void, and then later on he offers kill potential, which is something that combines great with Earthshaker, because Earthshaker lacks harassment as a support, but has great kill potential. So just wait until minute 5 and you start getting kills. It's a good combination. Ooh, J.Storm go for any classic. I love the Team Protector for this region. Oh, so it's Moose Team Protector. Okay, yeah. Learn from the best here. This is a no stun on the supports. Well, Root, I guess, on Team Protector, but
yeah. Plus the overgrowth is there, but yeah, you're right. That is a concern.
Yeah, the Kunkka though, so you already have some stuns on one of your cores. Not entirely that bad. But fighting Pepegas could take advantage of this. Pick a hero that traditionally goes for BKB or has the spell. Slark, for example, comes to mind. It's a pretty good pickup here.
Ember. I like the Ember. Breaking trees, potentially good. If there's a Treant Ags, it's going to be a 4 Treant most likely here, with Fear likely to play the Undying, I'd imagine. Plus, he phases through trees. Night Stalker does not destroy trees with his flying ulti, does he? Or with the Dark Ascension? I don't believe that's the case. He does when he lands, right? But he just will fly over trees and gets flying vision.
Yes, exactly. But he doesn't break until much like Winter Wyverns. It works exactly like Arctic Burn.
I figured as much. Just wanted to make sure. Tombstone will break trees though, so Fear's got to be careful where he.
All right, I see. So what you're saying is what Night Stalker should do is he should land on Team Protector.
Yes.
Because that's an insta kill.
Yes.
He's a tree.
Yes. Especially if J.Storm pick Monkey King here, it could be potentially very dangerous, right?
I can't wait till they make the update where Monkey King can jump on Team Protector.
Yeah, it's gonna be like it's
like
gonna be
Ricky Ags, but with Monkey
exactly. You read my mind, actually. That's insane.
We've been casting together a long time, man. J.Storm here with the 4th pick. What would you like to see here? I like to have some consistent stuns, honestly, on this team.
It's gonna need to be a core as well.
Obviously, offlaner support or carry. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say Tiny. No, banned.
I would have liked Tiny. Tiny would have been a good pick here. Centaur, kind of suggested, Oh, Beast. I actually like that better than Centaur.
There you go. It's pretty good. BKB piercing to stun.
Pushing power as well with an Undying. You kind of want to take advantage of that early game lead you'll have.
My only issue with this is that if you don't catch Shadow Demon in the cone, Aui's going to be there, and he's going to be disrupting that hero like instantly, unless they're BKB'd, of course. That's the caveat. You can't save them if there's a BKB'd ally.
I don't know if that's that concerning, though, because you have a Kunkka, which is a nice counter to that, because you disrupt them and then immediately Torrent comes out, right?
It's a fair point, but at least, it's a few seconds where the hero's not stunned up. I feel like you'd rather have them stunned by Torrents than... maybe not, I guess. It's consistent setup, yeah, that's fair. It's a double-edged sword, but...
It's still the right play. I completely agree. It's just that I'm thinking, well, it's not that big of a loss if you Primal Roar, because all you're looking for in this Primal Roar is not like the stun, it's just a setup stun, and that beats you. That's a classic move pick, by the way, the Bloodseeker carry. I actually used to play it quite a lot, and they're like, oh, maybe it's a pretty good pick here. Really good against Night Stalker and Ember Spirit, so I like that ban, actually. A bit unorthodox, but they've studied this matchup. What is the carry now for J.Storm? I wouldn't mind the Sven, if I'm honest with you.
I like this fan for this one as well. It's a good...
Bursting Ember is also easy.
He's
not that vulnerable to Night Stalker.
What do you think about Lifestealer?
I don't like Lifestealer against Night Stalker because you're going to have to play a game of who silences or rages first. And yeah.
It's in cast time on Rage though, right?
No, yes, it's a cast time, but so is Crippling Fear. So.
Good point.
Well, not instant, but very close to instant. Rage is literally instant. But there's the fact that Night Stalker's running at you, right? And there's a moment of panic where you go, oh no, what do I do against this vampire thing, right? And he's not the best hero against Night Stalker either because of high armor. I don't think he's that great against Ember. He's not my favorite in this draft. He's okay just because of how consistent the hero is. I was thinking of Timbersaw actually for themselves, but they banned it, which might mean a strength hero, which inclines me towards the Sven, the Lifestealer, or the CK, perhaps. We'll see what J.Storm decide to go for. I'm thinking a Moo pick, so
Radiant team pick.
Spectre as their pick. Okay. That's Moo though.
Ah, wrong team.
Yeah.
I heard you say Spectre, and I presumed that was for Envy. My bad.
No, that's I mean, okay, interesting. We'll talk about this in a second because Fighting Pepegas still need their last pick as well. And I'm assuming now, I don't really know if you want to run Ember versus Kunkka. I think Ember should be the carry here for Envy, honestly. And you would run a mid laner. I think that's why the Timber saw ban against Kunkka. Again, I always have to suggest the potential Huskar because he does counter him in lane, but I think it's a bit of a meme.
What about an Arc Warden? Natural mix.
Yeah, but terrible against Spectre. Arc Warden's really bad against Spectre, so I wouldn't pick it here. Because anything that can close the gap is bad.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yes, and he's actually not that great against Trim Protector either, to be honest. I can tell you as an Arc Warden certified spammer, as someone who hates happiness. Right. Not sure what you pick here, honestly, against the Kunkka. There's very few heroes that have a good matchup against him. Maybe you just go for something that has a consistent matchup against him. I was gonna say Tiny, but Tiny's banned. The Pango, for example, would be good here as well.
Coming to mind is a Storm. Queen of Pain might be a bit of a rough one here with the Train Protector.
I don't mind Queen of Pain if she wasn't so bad like right now. The Storm is not a bad pick either. Wouldn't mind the Storm too much.
It's decent against the Kunkka. It's not terrible, right? At least early on you have a little bit of an advantage before the Tideburner. Like you said, just War of Attrition there and regen. Yeah. Which Kunkka is going to end up winning out, of course. But
yeah. I'm looking at mana stuns. I think Storm could deal with them okay. The roots are kind of annoying. You can go for BKB. Ooh, okay. I was
didn't expect that one. Yeah, it's another stun. Doesn't really care too much about the mid lane matchup so long as you get your levels in, and then you can go, to the jungle, give some lane experience to Snake King, as I imagine he's gonna move mid lane.
Yeah, that is a good point, actually, as you can actually sap the experience in the middle lane. I'm looking at their draft, and I will say, if you don't look at the bottom part of the draft, I would say that Fighting Pepegas has a pretty solid draft. There's kind of a ladder draft where you have an early game won by Night Stalker, Shadow Demon, Earthshaker, get some kills, use Ember Spirit's peak around minute 15. You have Radiance and Alk, you're ready to fight. Not bad. Whereas on the other hand, J.Storm, the draft perhaps doesn't have the greatest of synergies as much as the other team, but is still a pretty solid 4 Protect 1, right? A very different kind of strat. Usually, ladder is better than 4 Protect 1 because your heroes come online sooner. I think that's the idea behind the Alchemist. You don't need... J.Storm has a peak, a utility peak, around when they hit level 6 on Primal Roar and the Ghost Ship, and then they start getting kills. But at the same time, J.Storm doesn't have the Spectre online very early, and that Radiance will definitely come online sooner on the Alchemist.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know how relevant that's going to be. We'll see that in this matchup. I do find the Alchemist being a pretty good hero against Spectre. You can go for Silver Edge on this hero. It's not uncommon.
Also, the Earthshaker Enchant Totem cannot miss either. That does grant True Strike.
Against Radiance is pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. Could potentially be very strong as well. Although, getting that close to a Spectre as position 4 Shaker might be a bit difficult, of course, before you get a few items. But
that is true. Echo Slam can also be a good control for the Spectre. They have a fair amount of stuns, actually, stopping her from, Spectre daggering away. The Shadow Demon and Alchemist combination is definitely lethal, especially as it comes to the mid-game. Alk, if you go for the Cleave build, it's pretty brutal against Spectre Illusions.
Yeah.
Which is usually the build nowadays. You go for Radiance and then a minute 20. Like the fucking bad build.
I think there's, I feel like at this point it's probably so bad, right? Because it's one of these... Spectre's definitely one of these heroes where you don't want to be buying any items, ideally, that don't give you kill potential. But if it goes bad, I think there's a good case to be made for Blade Mail here on the Spectre as well. Just so much damage being returned to them, damage over time that they can't stop pumping out.
Yeah.
I like I said, I don't like it, but it's such a weird voice line as well, actually.
Did you just say, pause, sorry, Moon stomach problems? Is that like a nice way of saying he's in the bathroom?
Wait, who paused?
Snaking just went, sorry, Moon stomach problems. Are you okay, Moon? This is just... Is that a nice way of saying he's taking a long one in the bathroom?
Yeah, maybe he had a bit of a rough time.
Can you imagine that in the draft
Well-
you're there, like quite literally shit yourself?
Okay, well you gotta be ready for a Spectre game though, because you know, all right, gotta sit down and farm for 45 minutes. Then I'm gonna haunt, and we're gonna win, right? That's what you're thinking if you're Spectre, right?
Moon sees the Spectre pick. Everyone's analyzing. Oh, I think the Spectre pick is gonna make this game go long. And Moon's like, guys, I can't hold it. This is what's gonna happen. I need to go to the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Ready? No. with the period as well.
Fair responded with the okay there. Oh my goodness. How long can they pause that? This makes a very compelling point here. This, you know.
Yes, you can't pause to go to. Just hold it. Yeah, I understand it. You gotta. I do not understand.
These are very appropriate voice lines. But I'm sure we'll get underway shortly here. Won't bother sending it back to the AFK screen because we haven't moved, so.
Hopefully Moon is moving.
Give me a second.
We'll wait for the game to be unpaused and hope for a quick recovery from Moon's stomach problems. As this game is about to go underway. We have already analyzed the draft and the strengths of each side. And we'll say the ease of execution is definitely a J.Storm. All you need to do is last long, whereas fighting Pepegas need to actually get the early to mid game working for them. There we go. Moon is back. Thank God. That was quick, by the way. That was impressive, Moon.
Well, you know.
That is a strong, strong bow. I'm not even joking here. I'm very impressed. You've seen me in the bathroom.
I mean, yes, you do like to leave the door open, so I indeed I have. The three heroes once again setting down for the bottom runes on the side of J.Storm, but they're going to be met by 5 heroes here. They'd like to secure at least 2 runes, maybe even a first blood here on the side of fighting Pepegas. Give Bryle a decent start here would certainly help him out. As we know, already committed to the Grievel's Greed, as you are wont to do.
Alright, let's see. This early attack on the runes. It might work out here.
They're actually just cutting down trees. They're just like, yep. Sending 2 people in with the quelling blades early on, as Train Protector is scouting in and around with the boars. So they have
30 seconds to
the power here of nature on their side. This top lane, Moon Meandered will head back top after he conquered the stomach problems, hoping to conquer this top lane, but Fear here already spamming out to the DK. Stream Protector trying to scout out for anyone. I think he's placed a pretty nice ward here. Actually, that's going to be a fighting Pepegas ward. He's going to scout out any attempts at rotations. J.Storm 2 rooms, 3 rooms actually, with Moon Meandered only snacking 1 rune top. And there we go. We already getting harassed out by Moose. +2 damage on him thanks to that Fairy Fire and an Orb of Venom, so he's quite annoying to deal with this early on, but they are making it hard for him to be as aggressive here. Look at all these trees he's managed to cut down already. It's kind of crazy when you look at it, but it's very useful actually against the Train Protector. He's going to be relegated mostly to these bottom trees, and the creep, you can, you know, as Envy is doing, trying to pull them to the other side here, as he will get met with a nice root. So now Snaking getting that first Spectral Dagger out. Nice fissure onto 2 to deny them the last hit here on the ranged creep. Mid lane, Bryle versus 9 here, somehow getting hit there with the Tidebringer. Level 2 now with the Acid Spray. Nice regen here with the Tango. 4-0 compared to 5-1. That's Torrent. Gonna get dodged out there. Very nicely done. Top lane, Moon Meandered in a bit of trouble here. 1 more auto attack needed, but they do get that healing salve out. He's going to stay alive, but very low now, but does not concede first blood. As there's going to be a nice fissure onto 2 again, locking Fear out here. There's going to be not denying him the decay, however, as Moo trying to get this kill will be able to. No Desolate damage there, even just Spectral Dagger here. Interesting, I didn't know Spectre could speak regular if she got first blood.
Of course Spectre could speak Red Room.
Oh, she like speaks backwards, doesn't she?
Yes, but like that's just a choice. She just does it to screw with you. It's not like a personal.
Yeah, I see.
Exactly. But anyway, talk about this. Do you get the first blood here? Moo, pretty happy with this J.Storm. Honestly, they wouldn't probably expect it to do so well with Spectre early on. That's a very nice fissure, but you do have ways to cut out the trees. And with this, you get a pretty nice lead that you're definitely looking forward to, because going to this nighttime, you want to have at least a pretty even amount of farm on this Spectre.
Moose is in trouble, I think. I think Moose is dead for sure. Yep. She will fall. Always stacking up poison there. 9 actually getting harassed quite a bit by Bryle. He's trying to use this early advantage that he has while there's not too many levels here in the Tidebringer. That is going to be a level 3 Tidebringer though, so will be pretty good. Moo meandered up against Moo. 1v1 in here is there's going to be a pull here by Snaking, or maybe just making sure that he's going to be able to interrupt Fear. So it's going to be a kill down bottom. Brack is able to get it there as Aoi canceling the healing salve with the auto attack, thanks to his haste rune.
So that's a nice couple of kills they got early against the guys that fighting Pepegas, right? Their core kills as well, quite important there. So fighting Pepegas, you know, not taking the super advantage of this laning stage. However, I think with the Alchemist, they devalue their plan of winning the laning stage a lot. They just want to be able to farm decently in the Alch and not lose by too much. That's the plan. Right now, if you compare the last between Alch and Kunkka, Alch is already doing quite well for himself. Bryle with the Grieval's Greed, 2 points of Grieval's Greed, 2 points Acid Sprayed, 9 until he gets a level 3 Tidebringer. You can't properly out-harass an Alch, unfortunately. We are seeing a constant spam of Acid Spray. It's actually kind of annoying because Kunkka recently his armor kind of reduced and he really cannot fight in that Acid Spray. Yeah. There we go though, Torrent is ready here in the middle lane, 9 goes for Bryle, but even with all that damage, he still gets the last hit on the range creep, and that's what matters for Bryle.
Yeah, it does, keeping up these stacks there of the Grieval's Greed. 16, I think that's going to be max for level 2. Nope, needs a bit more. It's harder to reach that now thanks to the nerfs. I'll be interested to see if he's going to queue up this Soul Ring. Already you can see he's pretty out of mana. He normally gets to level 6 here in about a minute, so needs another 2 waves, but it's not going to have that mana regen on the Chemical Rage anymore, which is quite significant. Did miss a kill here onto Envy. He does die bot lane. As diving between tier 1 tier 2 are going to be Moo and Fear actually, and look at all this damage. Stick charges might just keep it alive as Moo going to continue diving for this. Will end up getting the kill at the very least. Eats a few tower hits though from a tier 2, which is no joke at this point of the game. Now mid lane, a kill attempt onto 9, 3 stacks of the Shadow Poison as Snaking and Aoi both will rotate over to assist in the kill there.
Yeah, that kill at 9, very important actually, because you just gave Bryle some space. It seems, again, fighting Pepegas, they know their plan. The plan here is just to save Bryle. Oh, it's not, you don't really care about the farm from the other cores right now. You just care about the experience. Moon Meander, unfortunately, is a bit of a sacrificial pawn here, but now it's close to nighttime, and they know this. Moon is ready to fight. He has Void level 2, soon to be Hunter of the Night level 2 as well, and he's able to chase down Moon now. Even though he is losing his bounty runes in the process, there's a lot of bounty runes lost actually. He just lost, 3 versus 1.
Yeah, against an Alchemist as well.
With an Alchemist, sorry. Right, because you're the team that didn't get him.
Good point. Yes.
Yeah. So you're the one with the Alchemist and you didn't get the right runes, right? So which is terrible.
Yeah. Sorry. There's 6 and 2 so far on runes as well. So
exactly. So not doing too well. But within that, you should still consider that Bryle is doing very well in terms of farm. He's still winning his lane. So it's not like you're too concerned about this rune loss. And now we're seeing what you were talking about in the draft. You swap, put the Alchemist into the jungle, and allow the Earthshaker to just have some experience. As the Chemical Rage is finally up here on Bryle.
Yep, don't want to miss any of that solo XP. You end up wasting a lot, gives 9 a huge advantage, and on a Kunkka, you could really just start to run away with that very good snowbally hero.
Yep, indeed. And now, J.Storm here in the bottom lane. They really are putting a lot of pressure onto Envy. I think this Twin Protector build has worked out for them, as Envy cannot really come close to the lane. They're allowing Brax to also get a pretty decent amount of farm, but Envy, intelligently enough, he's staying within the XP range.
Look at this, yeah, they're going to contest stacks as well.
Oh, but that's a really good stack because you got the Satyrs. That's the most important one. Can they take all these kills? Yes, they can.
Denied. That's so much gold denied there. Actually, that's a massive play. They're gonna have to punish him for this. They might be able to actually with the run buff. He could stay alive, and that's Tidebringer Cleaves are just doing so much work. But 8 seconds now. Aoi setting up the management again, snaking immediately outside there. But oh my goodness, Fear just casually stealing 20 strength here, and 9 with all the run buff. not yet going to be able to live as Aoi again stacking up all the Shadow Poison. I think he's put a few levels into it. Yeah, he's put 2 levels into it, but there is going to be Spectral Haunt. Yeah, Aoi now mid lane will die. Tier 2 again. Moo playing very aggressive here, but really good use of the Haunt there. I think he actually got a kill onto Envy. Yeah, it's Envy just casually dying as well. No Roar was used on him. I think just damage from Boars and Beastmaster.
Yeah, that was a really, really good haunt, honestly, this Spectre. Now this could be another kill, perhaps on Fear though, because Fear was not expecting this Moonmeander joining in with a level 3 Void. 4 more seconds to that second nuke. Fear, you're as good as dead. Actually, the last claw as the Decay stacks Decay away from him. Moose does survive this, but in the bottom lane, Envy also gets the counter kill they were looking for a while. Brax will go down.
Gets him that level 6 as well there, quite comfortably.
Yes, very valuable, especially after losing to the Spectre. Envy needs a bit of recovery. You know, he did go for the Flame Guard build though, which may not the best against Beast, because, well, I mean, he can't dispel it, I guess, but it's not really the point to win the lane. It's the point to now farm the jungle and recover nicely. And Flame Guard build is the best at doing that. So Envy smart and understood that his lane was not going to be won regardless. And Elk, again, still leading net worth, right? He's not doing too bad. That's what matters. You really are playing 4 Protect 1 with the Elk. Oh, also, Hawks die easily with the Flame Guard, and that's not the best feature, unfortunately.
Kind of unlucky. Maybe just setting up with the Enchant Totem would have been the better call there. At least maybe then you force out the Roar, which is...
I think it was impossible. I think he would have just walked off.
You got a haste rune though, on snaking.
Yeah, but like while you charge it, I think there's always time for the Beastmaster to walk off.
I mean,
I'm not sure, to be honest. It's I understand why you'd go for this more secure stuff.
As 9 not going to quite scout out snaking in time to set up the kill there. Looked like he was maybe going to go for a blind torrent, but decides against it. 1-4-1-1 build here at level 7. As now there's going to be a Roar here onto Envy. He does have a Remnant back, but the roots are perfect. As there's going to be the tip.
I got a question why Envy was there, to be honest. I don't know if he was looking if he has a ward or something. Nope. So I'm not entirely sure why he was going so far in. Perhaps trying to be efficient and farm the enemy jungle, but misread the enemy's movements there. There's nothing really to be said about that kill because it didn't really help him out too much. The thing is, at least Moon does get some space, you know, on the bright side here. But J.Storm is doing very well in this early game. They're quite happy with Brax's farm. He's being a very dominant Beastmaster. He can start putting pressure on towers, which is ideal against an Alchemist.
They've contested this Alchemist him very well. Actually, they've contested that out perfectly.
The idea right now is that you've already contested the farm that he's created in the beginning, right, which is the uncontestable farm, in the sense that it's the hardest to reach, and now you start taking towers to reduce his farming space. Once you do that, it becomes easier and easier to contest the Alch's farm. That's why Envy is so desperately defending this. Like, he's honestly happy to lose a bunch of time and do nothing here. He didn't even leave a Remnant to come back, because all he wants to do is make them lose time, allow the Alch to farm. Top lane though, Moonmeander going for a kill, hoping to get the kill on Moo. Okay, this is not ideal. As Hook is already back. Aoi, Disruption getting a bit of time so that Moo could just get away. It was a very tough sell anyway though.
Yep, look at the rotation though. Oh, no, just for bounties, and finally we're going to get
well,
2.
They can go for him though. They have a Void. Look at this. Moonmeander now with a fissure. That's a good fissure. And he just flies over. I don't care about your Spectral Dagger. Chase him down, bring him away.
Nicely done, actually.
Yeah.
Very quality rotation there. It's the nighttime will end. Going to be a bit of a farming period as Envy versus 2 again down bottom. We'll go ahead and Remnant out, but this tower likely to fall here. 2 Boars will be able to tank up plenty of damage, and Brax securing this tier 1 bottom.
I would say that was impactful enough for nighttime, especially coming to the end. He used Dark Ascension to extend the nighttime as well, which is the most efficient use of the spell, obviously. Got the Spectre in the end, not bad. Moonmeander should be quite happy with this, and this has given Brile a fair amount of space, which is what you're looking for. He's back to stacking that triangle. He's quite safe in there. And Moo, not as dominant as he used to be, right? Started out really nicely, now Night Stalker's actually matching him. The only issue is, unfortunately, Envy, who has been just left behind. In fact, now, talk about being left behind, rooted up. I don't know if they can kill him, though. They have a Remnant.
It's a bit of a tough kill, but again, I want to point out, like last game, look at 2 very deep voids here on the side of J.Storm. They're going to start applying pressure. Speaking of pressure, there's a Haunt onto who, though? Snaking, maybe. There's going to be the Demonic Purge to slow him down from Aoi, though, so an unsuccessful Haunt there.
Yeah, a bit quick on that trigger, right? On the Haunt. You could have just waited a bit more.
We're going to get this tier 1, though. Moose has no Overgrowth. Fear is just chilling, holding on to that level 2 Tombstone as well.
Radiant's middle tower is
Not
under
gonna
attack.
get this tier 1.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Everyone's gonna go back to farming, but they're doing the same play as last game. They want to try and choke out as much farming. Actually, no, they're doing what fighting Pepegas did to them. I keep forgetting this is now. They've swapped sides, haven't
Yes,
they?
they have. Yes.
Yeah, so nice aggressive vision here, very early, trying to deny out any of this farm on the Alchemist or trying to deny any of Envy's recovery farm. Either or, still very good for you.
One up top, unfortunately, caught out, destroyed. 9 is working so much better now with this Kunkka, much more comfortable on this hero, and on top of that, he had a much easier laning stage. So now we see 9's real power as he starts ganking everywhere. Went for a Spirit Vessel's build as well to counter the Alk, but also because he wants to just have an early to mid game impact and create some space for the Spectre. They are pushing well with the Beastmaster. I think J.Storm understands exactly what to do right now, which is just put pressure onto the farming speed of the Alk. Urshik in the bottom lane, caught with the Primal Roar. They save Disruption, what you were talking about in the draft, and they have no Torrent here to combine with those, so unfortunately Snaking should just be able to get away. However, there's more.
Yeah, the Tombstone as well.
Yeah, Snaking's being slowed down to oblivion. What are you supposed to do here? Snaking has the Echo Slam, can't get it off. 9 just kills him with the Tidebringer.
Nice.
But here's the counter initiation with Dark Ascension ready. Brax will go down first. Now going for 9. He's a bit tankier though, a bit tougher. Snaking does buy back just for this kill. Able to get Moose, and Moose is going to go down as the Kunkka is the last to be harassed.
Comes.
Ready.
It's
Is
invisible.
It hit?
It's invisible. Yeah,
but
it does.
still hits. 9, and now able to get away? No, impossible. As they finally catch him with the last bit of the disruption, and they sure the kill onto him in the end. During all this time, by the way, Alk was farming, so this was actually the ideal fight for fighting Pepegas.
He shows up at the end there to help out.
Yes, but you know, most of the time he was completing his Radiance, and he does get it now, which is ideal. And also even get Envy, which got a bit of gold off that quick team fight.
It's a very nice fight, a very bit of aggressive play. They try to get this tier 2, but get drawn into a fight. There's no Tombstone, there's no Haunt available. You did get Overgrowth and Boat back in the middle of that fight, but they didn't really get to use it together, synced up, right? So had a bit of difficulty with that. As Envy, once again, being very aggressive here, just might end up in a spot of trouble. He's going to find Fear. Fear's not really sure what's going on here. As Envy just continuing to run through, just scouting, you know. Just scouting, you know. It's like when you send like an SCV to the enemy base. He's just chilling here, trying to dodge out the X-Marks. Will be able to do it, actually, as he had 2 remnants down. This Torrent will be unsuccessfully there.
Good thing, because he had no more remnants, right? So if that didn't work out, he was dead.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that was a good play by Envy. Now, he moves on from being, I'm going to sacrifice myself for my main core, to, okay, guys, I don't want to die anymore. It's been nice, you know. But the cold embrace of death is not the best for a fire spirit.
Yep, it's a 1/420 Radiance here for the Alchemist.
Not the best timing, but also not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. No Soul Ring, but 2 bracers and completed boots, so.
Yeah, I'll keep thinking that maybe a Soul Ring would be an ideal for an Alchemist, but I often don't see it in competitive. I think a lot of players just prioritize the physical damage on the Alch. In fact, again, attack speed, right? You don't go for your stable concoction anymore.
Yeah.
There's no use in going for the Soul Ring if you're not going to spend on the stable concoction.
You just carry a few clarities on you and make sure you have enough mana for for the Chemical Rage, and you're pretty good to go.
Indeed, yep. And the Chemical Rage, occasional Ice Sprays, but honestly, clarities are more than enough, especially for compared to that Soul Ring. So, yeah, I don't mind this. The BKB is the next item for Bryle immediately, so he wants to be able to have just battle out ready and take these quick team fights.
2 for 2 on the bounties once again here, so finally fighting Pepegas able to really contest these runes at the 15-minute mark. And this is the second night time here, so keep an eye on our Night Stalker here. I actually haven't looked at his itemization. It's going to be a utility Night Stalker this time, as he's gone for the the Vladimir's offering. And that looks like a Vanguard, doesn't it? He's queued up.
Yes, I like the Vlad's Crimson Guard build here, which I'm assuming is turn into eventually.
Yep, Envy might be in trouble. Yeah, they're connect the boat. They got plenty of lockdown, rooting him up. Fear dropping the Tombstone. Envy very done, but there's going to be the Echo Slam snaking. TP'd in, has now returned. Moonmandered with the crippling Fear, completely silencing them down. However, there's no stun. Oh, the disruption from Maui, barely coming in time. Fear, quite tanky that he is, still might not be enough as Brax will fall, and they'll be able to get rid of Fear as well.
Well, MV, seems like the baiting has worked.
Yeah,
they took down 3 heroes there, but honestly, great Echo Slam, fantastic counter initiation. Envy bought back for that, but he's back to the same amount of net worth he was before, so he didn't lose anything, but he got experience in the process, so it's not bad here. And you did take down J.Storm while giving Alk some farm. And here's the thing, Envy doesn't care much about dying as long as he doesn't give this kill to the Spectre who's hunting. And that's really the main issue, right? Is Mu haunts, then okay, Envy does care because you're giving gold to this carry who's desperately trying to get that Radiance. But for now, the Alk has got the Radiance and he's out farming the Spectre by a lot.
700 gold for the BKB as well, which is going to be huge against the Spectre because once she does have that Radiance up, he's just going to BKB and destroy her.
Exactly. He doesn't care much about, well, many things the Spectre can do, and the Spectre dagger won't even slow you down, so that's a huge buff to the Alk. He's already a really fast hero with the Chemical Rage, so it's nice. I think Bryle is ready. The plan against the Spectre for now is working. We'll see how the execution comes, right? Because this is the timing.
Yeah. This is why I was talking about where I was like, I don't really know if it's possible to get this Radiance up. You know, a Radiance now would be like a really great timing, right, for a Spectre, right? 17, 18 minutes is fantastic. Didn't really go their way, unfortunately. The laning stage didn't allow for that. So I'm like, maybe go for the Blade Mail here. I just still don't think it's the play. Unfortunately, I think you just have to go for this Radiance because it's not Blade Mail does not help you farm. Like,
I'm okay with the late Radiance here. I mean, you just have to accept it as an Alk, and he's gonna beat your timings, right? It's one of those situations where I don't think that you can even contest it with an early game build. It's just not possible.
That's a good point.
Like Blade Mail or even Monta-style Diffusal Blade, which we've seen on some Spectres more commonly, right? It's just not, you just can't do it. Not against an Alk. You have to just rely that you get to the late game. And the way to get to that late game is by farming. You already have the Kunkka who foregoed a build of a late game Kunkka for going for a complete mid game build. And I think that's the right choice for 9 as well.
With wards by Fear, insane, man. This is going to get dewarded pretty soon. I thought there was a sentry. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm on dire vision, that's why I don't see it. Great vision here, very aggressive. He walks up to the high ground and places one before they get to tier 2, so might not expect it. As Moose will scout Envy here. I think they're going to go for it again here, as there's going to be the root trees to cut down for the Primal Rule. Moo, Spectral Haunting in. Try buying back now, Envy.
That's unfortunate because that is the kill. I mean, it wasn't to Spectre, but it doesn't matter. Spectre gets a tower in the process. That's your Radiance getting closer and closer.
That's the relic, at least.
Yeah, the relic, exactly. So you only have 1,400 gold left for that Radiance to finish. Bryle, though, does have his BKB ready. He also has a Assault Cuirass, so I mean, if you're relying on him as your main core, it's going to work out for now. Moon Meander chasing down with an Invis Rune. I don't know. This could be a kill.
Snaking has Blink, though.
Yeah, Snaking has Blink, and they want to maybe catch out 9. I'm not entirely sure. No, they're going down bottom for Brax. Easier target. Bryle's joining in. Brax, why are you alone? There we go.
Here.
Moon Meander slowing him down.
Oh, no.
This invisible vampire taking down the burly Beastmaster.
I like the alliteration.
Oh, thank you. Did not do that on purpose.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nice Stalker did a very good job there, as he's now closer and closer to the Crimson Guard. Buckler almost done, and he's only going to be missing the 800 gold for the Crimson Guard. That will reduce greatly the damage of the zombies on the Undying Tombstone, to some degree the damage from the Kunkka and the Spectre Illusions, actually. So it's a really, really key item here for the next team fights.
Speaking of key items, Stream Protector has queued up that Meteor Hammer.
Oh, okay, I was going to say. Yeah.
That's BKB on Kunkka, though. I don't know, man. It's still really scary to fight, isn't it?
It's a good start, right? Because if you get that together with a Radiance on Spectre, which is almost there, then you're able to get a decent team fight. The thing is, I think Bryle will have his Assault Cuirass by the next team fight.
Yeah, he needs 700 gold here on the Spectre, and Bryle's actually not at max stacks quite yet, but he'll be there after farming this camp here, especially with thanks to these skeletons that will get spawned.
Yeah, and the Hawk as well helping him out. He's like, oh, this is free gold.
Yeah, there's going to be the Chemical Rage, still holding on to the BKB. Now we'll go ahead and pop it. Throwing the Unstable Concoction at 9. Who is Aoi caught? It's going to be Moose, actually. No chance for the Overgrowth. However, the Roar onto the Moon Meander has no Dark Ascension here as BKB will expire now onto Bryle. They've caught Aoi into the boat. He goes. Moon Meander left for dead against 5 heroes. Aoi maybe trying his best to save him as well. Will be dispatched here by Moo, getting a double kill here. I don't think that's quite the Radiance fight either, but that will give her the gold.
So you forced BKB from Makunka, BKB from the Alk. That BKB from the Alk, not too impactful. He lacked the damage. And I will say there as well, Envy, because he played such a sacrificial role early, he doesn't have Maelstrom, and he's lacking the damage in his team fights. You need the Sleight of Fist who just do something. Right now that tickled them, right? You need at least to tickle them with lightning with the Maelstrom. That will actually add so much to you. So I'm hoping that Eternal, or Fighting Pepegas, sorry, not Eternal Pepegas, decide to just calm down for a bit, wait for those 2 key items, and then fight next. Because the Spectre already has her Radiance. You're ready. You know, there's nothing you're waiting for.
Bryle could be in trouble here. They're maybe going to try and pop the second BKB charge. And I think they're going to be able to as they get a nice vision here onto Moose. He's going to go ahead and Invis again. Careful here. There, it's going to be the lag, indicating that there is a Spectral Haunt now. Darkness. has been triggered here by Moon Meandered. Maybe coming in from behind as Moose will get scouted out here. Chemical Rage doing a lot of damage there as now they're going to continue the chase. Brax might be up next. He's got Roar in 2 seconds. They've also caught Moo here, actually. Echo Slam committed here. Do they have the damage here? The Roar? Oh my god! Where did that hero go? Oh,
the disruption.
Yeah, that's where they go.
And now they're catching Moon Meander though in trouble. Bryle going forward, still trying to get Brax, but he doesn't have enough damage. Finally, Envy though comes in with a newly acquired Maelstrom and does finish off Brax. As now 9 could be in trouble. Doesn't seem who's going to win this engagement. Moon Meander still hit by the Spirit Vessel. He's just trying to crawl himself back to safety. He has to juke. That juke doesn't work out, but the Spirit Vessel's not enough. He starts the Magic Wand anyway. 9 in trouble. Uses the Magic Wand here. Moon Meander should be fine as Aoi continues to control 9. But here are the reinforcements coming back. The Soul Catcher's pretty brutal as 9 is forced to use the Ghost Ship before the Kakken goes rum. Eternal Envy starts to slide a fist, wants to get a Maelstrom procs, but Moo, he just survives that fine. Aoi's fine until the end. Here's the heal from the Soul Rip, and Aoi realizes this is not his fight. He's brought back into his own death. J.Storm brought this back with very little HP. They played this perfectly, and fighting Pepegas will regret. They will rue the day they decided to take this team fight.
I mean, that went a little bit poorly for them. Unfortunately, the fissure there, it was a good fissure from Snake King, but ends up just isolating Bryle here, and he gets roared, and there's really no support for him, unfortunately. That as well as they just kept fighting there. Like I think maybe they should have just cut their losses there and just tried to fully disengage there. Unfortunately, are unable to do so, but 5-man smoke from J.Storm. They've killed some heroes. They want to fight again. Why not? They're quite strong, aren't they? Radiance completed on Spectre. They might find Bryle here again. He did use that BKB as there's going to be the Roar onto the Alchemist. Courier can be roared, but they did get the Fortify. Nice disruption there from Aoi to dodge out that road damage. There's going to be the Overgrowth onto a few heroes there as Envy is rooted down, can go nowhere. Snake King has no ulti, so he's not able to get the Slime off either. Moog falling quite low, will now be able to escape, and look at these slow from the Tombstone. Really doing quite a number here. They'll be able to get Fear as well as the Dream Protector. Now it's going to be another Darkness popped. However, Spectre maybe dying here to the tower. Will not, actually. Wand charges just barely enough as she's able to run down Envy.
Meander eventually does go down, and Envy does as well. That team fight started out decently for them, but now
Aoi's
they're getting
next.
all the counter kills. J.Storm, they constantly survive at so little HP. They need just a bit more damage, a bit more catch. Envy needs that Ags. We need that Alk to have a bigger impact, but unfortunately, Bryle, he's going for the easiest targets, but those easiest targets are just unfortunately not what you want to kill. You want to go for the Spec, you want to go for the Kunkka, but you just don't have enough. You need a bit of control, perhaps even a bit of HP with a heart. Yeah, Basher is a good idea for Bryle as well. You need some time to farm as well. Right now, J.Storm is just forcing you to constantly team fight, and that's not what you want to do as fighting Pepegas. You're still looking for the Medallion on the Night Stalker for a bit of extra damage. For the Ember as well. Here they go for Bryle yet again. They can survive this. He has that Chemical Rage ready.
Nine's doing all the damage in that fight as well.
Oh,
Good
nice fissure.
Block him off. BKB just off of cooldown though. As in they jump. Now it's going to force out that BKB. Going for the TP out. Not quite. Instead of TPing in, will be moved. Beautiful onto 2. There's going to be the Torrent from Brax. Now he's going to be able to yell at this Bryle, who has BKB. They're going to be burning off that duration. Envy trying to escape is going to be quite slow, though. Ooh, is going to be able to escape here. Who if they Demonic Purge? It's going to be onto Moo, as Moose is still alive himself. Now 9, falling quite low, has no BKB, has no more region, but there's going to be the Overgrowth out from Moo, still alive. Moo being able to pump in the damage. Oh my god, Envy actually now doing a bit of damage with the Sleight of Fist. There's going to be the Disruption Boat. Ooh, maybe that was meant for Moon Meandered instead. I can't quite tell, but Aoi at least able to get that kill, but it's going to be 9 with a Triple and another team wipe here for J.Storm.
Ends up being fighting Pepegas, honestly. They are desperately trying to bring him down. Someone give Aoi a medal, because this man is the one that's actually bringing down most, or doing most of the damage against J.Storm. Those Soul Catchers have been crucial against J.Storm. The only issue, of course, is that they need the extra bit of damage from the cores, and it's just not coming out. The Alk is just completely controlled. That Tombstone has been brutal every single team fight. You need the Alk to control that, to deal with that immediately. Honestly, it starts. You might need to see a Blink Dagger on the Alk. He's going for straight damage on the Mjolnir. I don't disagree with that either. The Agrims on the Ember is a necessity now. It's way too late. In fact, he's just going to go for the BKB to get the safer option here for the Ember Spirit. Make sure he doesn't get controlled anymore. Those Overgrowths and Ghost Ships have been brutal. So much AoE control. And the only thing fighting Pepegas can hope for is just this goes a bit later when the AoE control is not so relevant. Snaking. Or these
bit
two.
of damage.
These two AoE control.
Yeah, Tombstone, like you mentioned, just so brutal this game. You got 4 melees with only a position 5 on Aoi being the range hero. So if you're able to drop a Tombstone up on the ward spot, which he's been able to these past 2 fates, it's all up to Aoi, right? And he just doesn't have that attack speed on the position 5 Shadow Demon. So yeah, it's a bit difficult for him.
Okay, Night Stalker could be in trouble. There's the Haunt used. As for Night Stalker, Aoi, you can't lose this guy first. He's your main source of damage right now. Goodbye to Aoi, and they control snaking as well. Dark Ascension will do nothing for Moon as they lose 3 here for nothing. This is just a bad engagement for them. Fighting Pepegas.
Yep,
Are they honoring their name right now?
Straight in a Roche. As they'll be able to take this here quite quickly. Good vision from fighting Pepegas, but they're not going to be able to contest it. I don't know, maybe Envy's going to go for the steal, but it would be a bit difficult. He's already TP'd and doesn't... where's his remnant, actually? I don't know where his remnant is. Couldn't find it, but hey, Roche is dead in the time I was trying to find his remnant anyway, and of course going to Mu. I don't know, man. Fighting Pepegas are in a bit of a pickle here. Mu 11, 2, and 11, so he's got a... what's that thing? It's like Taco Cat, where you can write it forward and backwards.
A palindrome?
Yes, thank you. He's got a palindrome.
Taco Cat is your palindrome of choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a palindrome.
Like, race car was the one they taught me. Taco Cat? That must be a Mexican thing.
What? No, it's just like cats.
Just don't know what a Taco Cat is. That doesn't matter.
What do you? It doesn't matter. It's just a palindrome, okay? It's the same thing forwards and backwards. You don't.
Palindrome is for words specifically, though.
What's it for numbers?
I don't know, but there's a name. There's the word.
Dire's bottom tower
I think.
is under attack.
Yeah, the word is Taco Cat, you fool.
I am casting with a fighting Pepega, indeed.
Anyway, from behind, J.Storm are actually positioned quite nicely, maybe, as the entirety of fighting Pepegas will back up. Envy's going to find an Arcane Rune for himself. He's doing a bit of damage now with the Sleight of Fist, as I pointed out in the middle of that last team fight. If he gets a Maelstrom proc, it's decent damage as compared to before.
Okay, take the tower down bottom at least, so it's desperately trying to take some. I mean, tier 1 versus tier 3, what's better? Probably the tier 3. Right? Yeah, you gotta go back and fight this. Delay this as much as possible, take the tier 1, get a bit of extra gold, necessity.
You don't have Dark Ascension, that is my concern.
You don't have anything. I mean, you have the Echo Slam, I guess, so you can initiate a snaking. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
You just can't. These team fights have been so tough for you right now. They caught Eternal Envy for now. Want to bring him back? They do. Torrent hits, and Mu just continues hitting. He has the living armor anyway. That's going to be the mid-range Brax, perhaps the mid-melee Brax as well. Where is Bryle? Bryle is farming.
They don't really want to jump in. This Tombstone's down, and only Aoi's the one that's going to be able to hit it, right? And he can't get that close. They'll just absolutely destroy him. So they're not really interested in fighting. They're going to get backdoor kicking in for just a second here. Might be enough for them to back off, as there's going to be a boat torrent combo here. Who have they caught? No one?
No one, no.
Yeah, interesting.
From
maybe.
behind, look at Moon. He's stalking. He's night stalking. They go in. They're going to catch Moon first from the backline. Next to by the team fight, and Moon's
no
gone.
support. That's only the
Fear is
Aegis,
dead.
though.
That is the Aegis, but that's the first life now as Moon Meander manages to divide this team fight. And they're just
Fisher is
controlling
so
Moon
good.
completely. They're managing to bring him down finally, but Spectral Dagger gives him the extra movement speed he needs. Moon Meander realizes he's done his job. He can die now. He doesn't care. The constant fissures ensure that Moon will die, as now the Echo Slam catches the second core. It's down to Brax. Brax can get away, though, thanks to the Torrent. And Empty just dies there casually. He didn't even mean to do so.
Buyback.
Thanks to the buyback, if they get the kill on Bryle, they can finish off Shadow Demon as well, and Snaking will be the last to die in this engagement, as you have Ember Spirit and Shadow Demon back. They need to buy back on Bryle as well. They have buybacks on everyone in this team. The question is, do they want to spend them?
I don't think so. You don't have ults up. You don't have... I mean, you will have it soon. I guess maybe you need to, right? Buybacks all around the horn here. Perhaps on the east side of fighting Pepegas. Just one more, actually. Nice stun onto 2. There's going to be no follow-up, though. Not on that team fight. Maybe not, actually. What a good buyback from Mu. Spectre's just one of those heroes that buying back is so worth it on.
Yeah, it is, because the Hunt immediately gets you back in the team fight. That was the plan. That's why you have Aegis. You have 3 lives to come back in.
As Aoi's maybe got it a little bit too close. We'll have that disruption. I think it's going to be enough, but he will set up for the Torrent at least. Spirit Vessel is there, snaking, maybe trying to save.
He's dead. He's gone. That Spirit Vessel should be able to kill. Oh no, he's Magic 1. Never mind.
I think he's still dead, unfortunately. Yeah, Radiance Burn will get him. Now Envy has gotten Roy. That's going to trigger a buyback from Bryle. Envy has already bought back, as has Aoi. And the game indeed is looking quite tough. Moon Manor jumping in. It doesn't have Dark Ascension. It's not nighttime. Just turned daytime. Snaking will fall 2 now. Did not have the Echo Slam available. And now Moon Manor getting nuked down. GG gets called by Envy. Game number 3. J.Storm able to take down that early game Alchemist.
The idea for this game was a good one, right? They decided, I think we can take, we're just going to sacrifice all our farm and let Alchemist farm. But unfortunately, that means that all you have to do is control Bryle, and they had enough control to bring him down. The Spectre had some fantastic Hans. Envy just was not useful this game because he had to beat the sacrificial pawn, and unfortunately, I don't think it was Envy that had to do that. It should have been Night Stalker instead. His Maelstrom took so long, they lacked the damage in the team fights. Like I mentioned, can you go to the scoreboard for a second? I don't know if the Soul Catcher counts as damage, to be honest. I don't think
so because it'll get applied as well. I think it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Because I think in the team fights, I just want to mention that I think most of the damage honestly always in most of these team fights. Like he has 10k hero damage. That's not counting the soul catchers, I presume. So that is a big boost they had to the damage because unfortunately Bryle or Eternal Envy couldn't do much. They had the residual radiance damage, sure, but you couldn't bring down anyone, and the control from J.Storm was fantastic. Also, he gave 9 his Kunkka, man. Don't underestimate 9 Kunkka. That's one of his best heroes.
Yeah, he really created so much space there as well for them, and yeah, just wasn't enough. Fighting Pepegas will fall, so J.Storm, to game 3 we go, guys. Stick around. Seek & Strike and D Swordfish bringing you the action here. We'll be right back for game number 3 after a short break, guys. So we'll see you soon for that.
Step lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go. Brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
It's grand final time. Watch it live. The Vodafone 5G ESL Mobile Open. Tune in on the 28th and 29th of September.
So this is it. This is where it all started. The great business of DHL.
You remember when we still use these?
We have all come a long way since then.
Hey, Effie, my little buddy. I got a special job for you. And this is only the beginning.
Life is made up by special moments that touch us. A touch of genius, an inspirational touch, and a touch of magic. Some touches are simply unique. Euronics, a human touch in a digital world.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go. Brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. Remember where you came from. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
It's grand final time. Watch it live. The Vodafone 5G ESL Mobile Open. Tune in on the 28th and 29th of September.
It's game fuel. It's domination in a can. Tastes like loser tears.
New Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Welcome back, everyone. Game number 3 here. J.Storm versus Fighting Pepegas. Moving on here to the grand finals of the ESL 1 Hamburg 2019 NA closed qualifiers. Bringing you the action today is myself at Seek and Strike joining. At Seek and Strike Dota. I got one word ahead of myself. That was almost such a good opening.
Stop wanking yourself off every opening. You're gonna break your arm that way, all right?
Well, you know, it's
I'm
so
the
close.
Swordfish. This is Seek. Hello, guys.
The Swordfish.
I hate you. Dota is on the menu today, and I like food. So let's get right to it. J.Storm versus Fighting Pepegas. Last match. This is the decider. This determines who gets to go, as you mentioned, to the grand final. Who goes down to losers brackets to play against Team Plus.
Yes.
Because Black Sheep forfeited their games. J.Storm with a Gyrocopter triple at their opening, as Fighting Pepegas go with the Mirana faces Void. I am excited. I am hoping this is an Aoi Mirana. No, it's not. It's going to be Snaky Mirana. Oh, I miss Aoi Mirana. That was like his thing, man. He was the one of the pot and bottom originals. And he played pot and bottom.
I don't get it. Can you explain it to me?
So bottom is a hero in Dota.
All right.
And when you go bottom lane, you say pot and bottom.
10 seconds remaining.
That's it. That's really it. There's not much complexity to it. Fighting Pepegas with the Mirana faces Void. You're already starting out with some pretty solid laning stage, honestly. Void, hard to beat in the laning stage. Mirana is a hero that offers a lot of kill potential in laning stage as well. And later on, that Chrono plus Starstorm is a fantastic combination, as it does manage to get you a good amount of area damage and lockdown. Fighting Pepegas will start out this draft quite nicely then, with initiation as well from the Moonlight Shadow to help out the Void, get those easier chronos. It's consistent. It's easy to play. But J.Storm, they're going for something they tried out last game as well, a Trim Protector, this time in combination with a Gyrocopter and an Omni Knight. So a lot of harassment in lane with a Trinket and the Omni Knight, then combine that with a Gyrocopter to potentially get some kills, and you even have the teamfight Gyrocopter offers. Gyrocopter, also a hero that has been seen often as a, not hard counter, but soft counter to the Void. We see the Aghanim's Gyro together with an early Basher pickup, so that you can actually stun the Void within that Aghanim, within that Chrono, and you don't get killed.
Yep, absolutely. You also, even if you're not in the Chrono, you go ahead and activate that flat cannon and send some auto attacks his way. It might discourage him from standing in it too long. Oh, speaking of discouraging standing around too long, Warlock, Fatal Bonds, Golem. I think that's going to be the AoE hero on it.
Dire team pick.
Yes, it will. Also, he does love that Warlock, unfortunately, because I really miss AoE Mirana, but Warlock is fine here. And he does offer the counter initiation you're requiring. Fatal Bonds is fantastic within that Chrono as well. And Fatal Bonds with such a simple spell as Starstorm, right? That's actually where Fatal Bonds shines the most. Low cooldown area spells, Illuminate, Starstorm, these kind of spells that you can constantly dish out.
10 seconds.
And if you go for the Ags, even better. That's a ridiculous amount of damage amplification if you hit like 3-4 targets or more.
It's going to be a... interesting. Okay, so it's going to be a Fear Treant Protector, right? So it's going to be a Moose Rubik.
Interesting. Okay.
Should be. Yeah,
Should
makes
be.
sense.
Should be. So Fear Treant Protector also, I mean, he's used to this. He's to play with the PPD. They love that Treant Protector often, so he knows exactly how to play this hero, even if just by proxy. Moose Rubik, confident in this hero. I'm not the biggest fan of Rubik in this lineup. I think you have a couple of good spells of steel, but it's just okay. It's more of a consistent pick, I think. You have two supports that are very defensive in the sense that they can completely stop enemy aggression towards your lane, towards your,
10 seconds
especially if they dive the tower. They're okay in lane. They offer a decent amount of harassment, but it's mostly the consistency.
remaining.
You have Nominate already. You have a Gyrocopter already. You don't need your supports to do much. You're looking for that mid-game potential, really. That's why fighting Pepegas has to go for the Enchantress to try to win the laning stage a bit further.
Do you reckon it's going to be Envy Void then?
Yes, 100% Envy Void, yes. I think Mumia or Void, I don't think anyone wants to see that. But Enchantress, honestly, for Moon, I think a hero he's very comfortable with. He is a really good...
Played a game 1.
Yep, he's a really good Enchantress. He's confident in the hero. It's a hero that also has an easy time in the laning stage. I think Moon excels with heroes that he could die in. And I don't even mean that as an insult. Like, he is a guy that often will sacrifice himself or kill himself for space, and he understands that easily. And Enchantress is one of those heroes. All you need is impetus, and you're more than good. So...
The OD gets banned here, which is interesting. I suppose you have... Omni's an int hero, isn't he?
What? Are you serious?
No, he's strength. What am I saying, right?
Okay, yeah, he's definitely strength. Yeah. Yes, he's strength. Look at him. Look at his muscles.
I don't know. He's a. He's not a druid. Oh my god, I'm forgetting the D&D class. He's a cleric.
I don't care. Fighting Pepegas, they have
charismatic. Just
they have the last ban here. What do they want to ban for J.Storm? You're looking for probably a mid laner ban here. Interesting that you banned the OD. Perhaps you're thinking of banning the... Oh no, the Kunkka's already banned. Is Tiny still a pool? Nope. What are you afraid of that the OD counters? Maybe a TA? Nah, but TA is just bad right now. Also not that great here in general. What are you looking for here in J.Storm? And this ban determines much more about what Fighting Pepegas want to go for than what J.Storm wants to go for. I'm not entirely sure what they're looking for here, honestly. I mean, the Storm and Ember are both in the pool, but not great against Void in general. What are good heroes that are against Void there in the mid lane? Tanky heroes? I guess maybe you could consider the Morph.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't love the Morph mid anymore. I don't think he's that great. Even though I know they can play it.
It's true.
Pango banned. Never mind.
Yeah, it's that first phase material. They've also banned the Night Stalker, interestingly enough. So it's that NA action, man. We don't even... sometimes you see that banned in SCA as well. Wow. Okay.
Maybe the Invoker is a consideration. I'm thinking of 9 heroes and... Oh, you could go with Bristleback, actually. Oh, okay, so the Invoker's for you, maybe? No, Lesh. Interesting. Mother bad then. Don't want to get brooted? Okay.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Not
good
with
damage.
Lesh.
Good damage into Chrono as well.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's solid. Respect's not good anymore. Now that's 9 hero. Pugna. I was thinking of 9 heroes because he's not the most orthodox mid laner. I think Pugna is the pick actually. Really, really good here. You stop damage from the Enchantress, stop damage from the Void and the Chrono. You actually destroy the last strike with your Nether Ward.
It's really a disco pony then with a laser shell.
That's true. Yeah, he gets the upgrade here.
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely massive. Not a whole lot of blinks to cancel there with the Nether Ward, but certainly going to be very annoying. Might even be worth getting a level here early on in the laning stage just to keep him at bay. We'll see how they decide to lane it, though. Sprile will go ahead and choose upon that Lesh. More of the gyro here.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so it is going to be a 3 Omni Knight. I really like 3 Omni. It's quite strong. The thing that's a little bit scary when you have single target heals and not AoE heals is that against specifically the Fatal Bonds, right? Because they're only healing one person, everyone else is going to take a lot more damage as a result if they're that main target. So that could potentially be a bit spooky for them here. But honestly, it's just such strong lanes. Especially gets an end to that pure damage on the Purification, as the name implies, is so good. Rubik as well with the Fade Bolt. Of course, Pugna's entire toolset just absolutely blows up Moon Meandered. So this one just works it out for him, quite honestly. They got to be careful that they all don't bunch around the Ench, though, as that'll set up EE for a very nice chrono into the AoE combo as well. So, like D-Swordfish brought up here in the laning stage, talking about how very low cooldown, high damage AoE is very good with the Fatal Bonds. And honestly, you say that, and the one hero that I think of is Lesh with the Pulse Nova as well as the Edict, just bouncing around doing damage to everyone in that AoE. Could really do a number here.
Lowest cooldown is 0, right, in this situation, so Pulse Nova, literally, you can just keep on going.
Yeah.
It's very effective, as you mentioned, with the Fatal Bonds. The counter initiation as well by that Golem. Super, super useful with the Leshrac, as you get that 1 extra second of Pulse Nova, can actually mean a lot. It's also a good setup for Split Earth. It's a good combination that they have here, honestly, fighting Pepegas. Like, their draft, again, when I looked at Game 1, it was the same thing. I thought their draft was pretty good, but what they lacked was they weren't looking at the enemy draft, right? Their draft in a vacuum is pretty fantastic. J.Storm is playing much more reactively in the drafting phase. Usually that's worse. Usually you want to be the one that's proposing things. But in this case, J.Storm, and in last case as well, they understand just how to play against fighting Pepegas. They have a solid enough draft with a base core, a very simplistic base core, which is the Omnight Gyrocopter. Okay, Gyrocopter hits things. Fantastic. That's what you want to do. That's the basic thing. And now you have heroes that counter what the enemy's trying to do. For example, Gyrocopter can exploit pretty nice. The Rubik to steal that Chrono, or potentially, just destroy the enemy team because they have a lot of things to steal, honestly, now. The Temp Protector as well for counter initiation. The Pugna to destroy the Leshrac and the Void. It's good. It's a much more of a versatile draft.
Yep. Moon Meander getting stalked here by Fear. Already getting that first level in the
30 seconds to battle.
in the Nature's guys. That's already. Moon Meander has not yet committed here on anything, but there is going to be the kill attempt here as they're going to toss out into the Nether Blast. Might just be enough as Homing Rocket will connect. Has gotten the Nature's attendance out, but another Nether Blast is still not enough, as they do have that bit of healing thanks to the Fairy Fire. So lots of abilities burned around, but Nine will get that mana back pretty quickly here. 2 mana regen here at level 1. He's pretty happy with that, I'm sure. Brax, it's going to be two runes here.
Okay. They will still be able... Okay, they'll be able to get away from this, maybe, yeah. Brax is playing quite hard, but, he can't really be killed. This is the good thing about this lane, actually. I think the laning stage, I haven't really considered that, but J.Storm has some really solid lanes. Pugna against Lesh, it's not actually that Pugna favored, because you don't often go for the Nether Ward early, and you have enough range as Lesh to just kind of evade most Nether Blast and Decrepifies.
Yeah. Plus, the Decrep's not going to bother you too much because you're going to max the Lightning Storm anyway for the lane control.
You can actually go for Edict build here because you don't like Lightning Storm build is more when you can guarantee the lane, right? Here depends. If you think you can just win with Split Earths and Diabolic Edict, you can get away with an early Diabolic Edict. That's much better because you can put pressure as soon as the Pugna puts pressure, which is something that you're looking for, right? So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Brylis has to go for. I like the Edict build particularly, especially when you have a Void on your team.
No. It's very strong early, the more levels you put into it, and of course getting that solo XP is, even better. But the problem mid lane is that there's almost always creep around you.
It's true. That's why it's not that useful in the lane. That's why you have to consider, if you go for that build, it's because you think the lane is going to be okay for you.
Yeah. In the side lanes, like here you have Moo and Fear who might be able to chase off Snake King or Moon, into the side shop, right? Whereas in mid lane, you're either back into your tier 1 or always surrounded by creep, so...
And actually, surrounding by creeps is relevant for 2 heroes also. The Gyrocopter. He doesn't have to go for Lightning Storm, by the way, which is okay. So good. He's gonna try to win the lane. Gyrocopter here in the bottom lane. Really good matchup against Enchantress. But if Enchantress decides to, she aggroes creeps properly, that Rocket Barrage doesn't hurt her too much. You need a level 2 Rocket Barrage to really be able to threaten her. And Fear, unfortunately, can't really harass Enchantress. You do a lot of damage to the Mirana, but the Enchantress with the Untouchable, it makes your life impossible.
They did force him to get the Spirits at level 1, but about to get level 2 here. So we'll expect to see that level in Untouchable pretty soon, unless they want to try for an early kill here on a chat. They might be able to catch him off guard here with a nice arrow. No, it's going to be Untouchable. This is a safer option, obviously.
Right. Let's see. Right now, the Untouchable is just too useful. Going for the Enchant early, I think a lot of pros are thinking against it. We saw Jenkins, for example, yesterday doing that too. Like just saying, maybe Enchant at level 5, but definitely not in the early levels. Because you need those Untouchable. You need that survivability early. And in the mid lane matchup, we're seeing quite an even matchup, honestly. Not favored towards anyone. It's really, like I mentioned, skill-based. It's not really favoring either the heroes in the lane. It's really when the game progresses that Bryle is going to start to be in trouble. But once he gets Pulse Nova, you can actually get a quick kill onto the Pugna, right? Because you can always stun out the life drain, but you have the slow from Lightning Storm and, of course, the damage from Pulse Nova to kill him.
Yeah, this is why I was saying, I think why you just max the Lightning Storm anyway, just to secure CS here under the range creep, because either way, if you get Decrepified, sure, you're going to take a lot of damage like he is now. If he Decrepifies you, sure, you can't get that lasted out, but the Lightning Storm to secure it, as we don't see here.
No, he's interesting, so he's waiting for the... He's saving on skill point. He doesn't know exactly what to go for. He might die. Oh, nice Fairy Fire there. Styles itself. I love the null talisman. Typical efficiency for the mid
Look
lanes.
down bottom. Moo's been caught by an arrow here. That might be first blood. Indeed it is. Moon meandered, able to just lay in the auto attacks there.
Yep. It's just a good arrow. These kills could always happen, of course. If you get him pre-level 6 though on Enchantress, that's like an extra added bonus, because that shouldn't be happening really. The arrow now this time misses. The scripts around. They don't care. Rocket Barrage is level 2 now. That's a good enough damage to kill Moon. And as I was talking about, right? You get the level 2 Rocket Barrage. Now you can threaten kills. Until then, Gyrocopter's a bit weak. But now, welcome to Gyrocopter domination.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. Actually, Fear doing the majority of the damage there. 280 on him. Leech Seed is leveled to ensure that they can slow down this very fast Enchantress.
Notice now, if you just look at
go for it again as well. Level 2 in the Untouchable, but still Fear is able to touch her as the arrow will zone them out.
Now, notice that in the mid lane, we just saw Bryle decide to go for 1 point Diabolic Edict, and this is the beauty of this matchup. You actually have a lot of versatility. He got it because he was thinking of going for the rune, and so if you fight near the rune, obviously no creeps nearby.
Good point, yeah.
Diabolic Edict very useful.
Yeah,
and now you have the choice. Do I go for a second point in Edict because I think I can actually push this tower? Do I go for a second point in Lightning Storm because I need it to last it? Most likely not at this point. Do I need to just max Split Earth, which is the best ideal?
Yeah, no, you bring up a really good point, and it's something I neglected to even think of was the tower push from both these heroes are fantastic, right?
Yes.
Edict especially, but of course Nether Blast, two very strong abilities, wave clear. So I think you need to get the Edict a bit leveled here, just so you can at least threaten the push as well, right? Otherwise, Nine's just going to feel free to push your lane, and you're going to lose your tower here very early on. So can't really allow that as they both get a bit aggressive here. 5-minute runes, they're going to be 2 for 2 once again.
Yeah, the power of this Lush, you notice that. I mean, with Pugna, bottom lane first. I don't know if they're...
Top lane, too, actually. Envy going to get gone on was going for Moose.
No, okay, but I think the bottom lane, they're considering the kill on Fear, but you do need the extra level Rocket Barrage. I don't think... Not Fear, sorry, on Moon Meander.
Well,
I don't think you can really threaten him right now.
Yeah, maybe Fear as well, as they got a nice Venn diagram here of Sentry Wards.
But yes, just the point on the Pugna is that he's not only good because he's lane dominator, is that he does something with the lane, much like DP, he threatens your towers. And that Leshrac can actually counter, he does the same thing.
Oh, they might be able to get it out. Moons have gotten a little bit too close. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough damage there onto the Rocket Barrage, but that's what I was talking about. Yep, the Flak Cannon doing a lot of damage there. He's just casually attacking creep and able to get the kill there. Very well done.
So, interesting there, Moon, one thing you can do against a trainer is that you can actually stop the attack by literally just walking away enough while he's like mid-animation, because that happens. Eventually it cancels the attack. Yeah. But it's tough because it's not like a set range.
Yeah, look mid now, Bryle in a bit of trouble as that's going to be Life Drain. Level 6 immediately on top of it. Moose does not have a Fade Bolt for another time, but doesn't need it actually, as the auto attacks are going to be enough.
Yeah, he was looking to pulse Nova, aggro the creeps, and deny himself to them, but unfortunately, they do get that kill. It's only for the support though, so that could have been worse. Niner didn't participate too much, just helped in the beginning. However, that's in the tower.
Yep, Snake King rotates through to make sure he gets the siege creep. The Fortify dropped as well. Aggressive Fortify is dropped. They still are holding on to the glyph here on fighting Pepegas. Snake King will pull the creep off the tower, but Moo gonna rotate over. They really want to get this tower. Like I said, mid towers can set a lot of the tempo here early on.
Look at the build on Pung as well. The super early build is going to the boots. Now Aethelins. Usually Aethelins used to be the build. It was like, that's the only thing I need on the Pung. But now with the Villa Discord, you put so much more pressure onto heroes as well, not just towers. And people are realizing that Pugna is just, the earlier you can get him online, the better.
Yep, 3 heroes rotating bottom now, maybe to try and find a kill onto Moon Meander. Fear just barely standing outside the sentry range here, but no, they actually haven't quite shown yet, as Moon Meander in for a very rough time. He's going to have no idea what hit him. Rocket Barrage incoming, homing missile incoming, as the Rocket Barrage will now get used. He's best off standing near the creep, but it's kind of a bit of a double-edged sword, as either he gets hit by the flag cannon or by the Rocket Barrage, or in this case, by both.
Yes. That was good positioning by Moo to get that Rocket Barrage fully to hit the enchanters, and also the good use of the flag cannon. However, in exchange, you do get a kill in the top lane against Brax, but that does allow 9 to get the tower in the middle lane.
That is Chrono as well.
That is Chrono, okay. And I mean, 9 getting the tower in the middle lane, I think, is what destabilizes this matchup. He's just so much better at pushing. That ball kick is great, and it does a lot of damage, but you need to be alone.
I might actually get a second kill on a Brax here. He's TP'd in, and Upheaval doing a good amount of work, yeah. It's going to be a very good Heavenly Grace, but Pulse Nova with the Edict here. Level 3 Edict now, is he's only put 1 level in the Lightning Storm, interestingly enough. Might be able to get this tower as well.
Yeah, you get the Lightning Storm for the 1 level just to lane control to some degree, last at the rage creep. You don't care too much, and then go Diabolic Edict to take the tower.
It's very interesting. Both teams have been, okay, you've committed 3 heroes for our offlaner, we're going to kill your offlaner, but your 3 heroes are still there, so you've killed our offlaner again, so we'll kill your offlaner again. So they've just traded offlaners for offlaners, but interestingly enough, they get a tower out of it, however, on the side of fighting Pepegas, so slightly more beneficial for them.
It's because both teams have very similar lineups. You have a Space Creator pusher in the mid lane with a magical damage, you have a pretty hard carry, honestly. Both have team fight potential, one more stunny, one more about the damage, and a kind of sacrificial offlaner and you don't care much as long as you get levels on them. Now you even take the tower down bottom. Like, you have literally the teams mimicking each other. They understand that it's all about the space and they want to get just favorable trades, not much else. But in the mid lane, they go for moves. They're looking for this kill here. As the bottom lane, they also go for the Moon Meander. Moves for now gets away telekinesis. Moon. Now they're going to TP down mid, take the tower down bottom, and now there is a fight. Fear in trouble. There's a leech hit used though to heal him back up. Fear just wants to last this so that they can go for Bryle, and here they have him. Nether Blast plus the life trade. Can they kill Bryle in time? He uses the Invis Room, which means he's going to be safe here.
Oh, a sentry though. Ooh, is there a Fade Bolt? Not yet.
That is not their sentry. Oh, no, this. Oh, okay, yeah. He was just out of the range of the sentry as they managed to get in range for him. So unfortunately, J.Storm manages to get.
Moose puts that one down on the chase, and he's too far gone already.
It's just too tough. He was very low on mana, made sense that he was backing out. That surprise kill on Lesh. I think they kind of realized, oh, Lesh is actually super frail, especially against a Pugna. Go for MV, impossible kill though. With time walk maxed, this is not gonna happen.
Yeah, he's got a good road as well, so he knows the Rubik is there. He's not gonna overplay or overstep his boundaries there, get stunned to death. So they might be able to get it, you know. Actually, what level is Arcane Supremacy? Yeah, maybe not. Actually, probably not. Never mind.
I'll take that. A tithe to the impurity.
Level 10 now. So we get the runes spawning in, checking in on net worth. It's going to be 9 on top here. On spread 1-0-1 actually. He's just able to see us a bit better here, more freely with the Nether Blast, I think. As bottom, they're actually going to TP3 here. Moose and Brax as Bryle. No more Edict here. This is going to be a 4th TP in. Rotating through is Envy, though. They have smoked from behind. There's going to be the golem getting dropped onto 3, actually. And the Chronosphere to follow up. They do have the Fatal Bonds applied as well. Moon Meandered pumping to the damage, but as is 9 onto Bryle, forced to back up. GA finally getting popped as Envy able to only get 1, and it is going to be Moo at least. Now I think, Brax? Nah, he's going to be okay, actually.
That was a very good initiative of fighting Pepegas, but 9 destabilized that completely. Take down Bryle in the backline, that's the utility and beauty The Veil Discord.
Ooh,
He's going to go for more. Aoi the target. Veil Discord. He needs one hit another blast just to finish him off. Unfortunately, lost to Crepify. Aoi, can you TP in time? I think he can. Just barely, though. The root didn't help either, but whatever.
Snake King was trying to get the kill there onto Brax. I think he has the leveled Starstorm already. Yeah, already to level 4. Landed a nice arrow onto him. He actually cut him off just before the tier 2, but wasn't enough damage as Brax is able to get the purification off, and he's A-okay.
You got the Void Midas now. I mean, not the... It's okay timing, I guess, because you went to Treads and everything. Now you're going to go for the Maelstrom build on Envy, go for the Hyper Farming Void, and hopefully beat this Gyrocopter in terms of farm. The only real threat in the enemy team right now is Pugna, because the Veil Discord has been kind of a nuisance, but once he gets Aether Lens, he'll really show his true potential. Right now, Aoi the target, they just need a bit of a stun, and there we go. Get the life drink completed, and Aoi is gone.
Moonmeander just casually farming here. Might want to evacuate the premises, though, as Moose will find him.
Does he? Moose doesn't seem to be able to fight him. He has a Corona, though. Moose did steal it in the last team fight, so you could use it if you wanted to kill Moon.
Just toss out a Corona to establish dominance.
They go for Disco Goat, Life Drain. What is Bryle going to do? He's going to try to TP in the trees,
Fear's
but
just going to run him down.
He has phase, so you're not escaping from the tree man in the trees.
That's his home, you know.
Is it? I thought he was protecting them.
I don't know.
I don't know the lore, actually.
Well, if you want to know the lore, actually, Treant Protector fights against Legion Commander, and the trees literally come to life. It's kind of scary, actually.
And is that why Timbersaw has...
I don't know where
PTSD?
Timbersaw is in the middle of all this, quite honestly, but they're going to be able to catch Aoi, who's certainly got PTSD from this 9 combination. He's just getting nuked down every single time.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem like... it's just the power of Pugna right now, and this Pugna alone is allowing the Gyrocopter to catch up to the Void, and allowing Moo to have enough space, really. They're putting... Ooh, that's a good Corona against Mirana.
That's beautiful.
Mirana dead.
That's worth it.
9 already has the Aetherlens now. Pretty good timing for it, and now is going for the Dagon. And once you get Dagon, like these guys in fighting Pepegas are super frail. They're actually very vulnerable to the typical Pugna Dagon build, especially with the Veil Discord and Decrepit Amplification. This guy, man, I'm so glad they picked Pugna. Such a good pick this frame.
Yep. You might be wondering why he used Chrono for a solo kill there. It's expiring in like 20 seconds anyway, so might as well use it to guarantee a kill.
Also, you're Rubik. It's not your ultimate. Like, you don't care if you use Chrono for a... You might as well. We often question, like, is this worth an ultimate? It's not. It always is for Rubik, right? Unless you have a team fight in mind, you're gonna come soon. It's level, as you mentioned, you know, it's level 1, so it's not gonna. It doesn't last long to begin with. You just want to take one use of it and go, whatever. I might as well.
Yep.
Not hard to steal Chrono though this game, to be honest. It's
no.
Envy usually just time walk after the Chrono.
Just they accidentally smoke Envy up.
Oh.
Time walk stolen. Yeah, I thought he was about to Chrono as well. I was like, oh my god, this guy's a god, but now Moo's in trouble here, getting a bit too aggressive there.
That time dilation screwed him over completely. He has the time walk ready, but no, it's not gonna. Yeah, he had time walk off cooldown, but he just like barely off cooldown as the time dilation came up. Yeah, it was like maybe 0.25 seconds or so. In fact, even the visually it seemed like it was off cooldown. But apparently
that's the issue with Rubik. You got plenty of actives to use, especially when you steal a spell.
Oh no, but it was only the. It was mainly really the.
I know, but it still throws it off cooldown for even longer.
Sure, yeah. But the time walk there is it's a really good spell steal. Honestly, attacking the Void is or stealing from the Void is always good, especially because Rubik against Void is a nice matchup because you force MV to walk into the Chrono. Because you don't time walk, you usually time walk into Chrono, and then use time relation immediately. So the Void, or sorry, the Rubik cannot steal that Chrono from you immediately after. Which is bad, because you don't want to waste your time dilation spell, but you have to. There's not an option. It's the only spell that Rubik doesn't really care for.
Yeah. Not all that good this game.
Like, it's okay, you know, it's a little debuff, it's fine, but it's not what Rubik is looking for.
Yeah.
He's definitely looking for the time walk or the Chrono.
As Edict getting used to nuke down the Switch. Looking like they're not really wanting to fight yet. I think Moo's trying to get this Axe. He has the drums completed, but still definitely in this catch-up phase. Yes, tier 2 for tier 2, likely to be the play. Yep. Both teams will use the fortify, but both towers will fall.
J.Storm, take tier 2 up top, I'll take tier 2 down bottom. It's actually kind of mirroring the draft.
Yep. There's a headdress on Moon meandered though.
bottom
Could help
tower
him live
is
a
under
little bit
attack.
longer. You know, tank a bit of the damage from, you know, the a fade bolt or.
You mean a hooded defiance?
Yeah, what did I say? A headdress?
Yes.
Why do I? Listen, it's a headdress. It goes on your head. Anyway, J.Storm attacking from above here. Snake King gonna get caught out here. Ooh, gets one leap off. Enough time as well for the Moonlight Shadow. Might allow his team to escape. Down into the river he goes. Is gonna find a regen rune. Gonna just deny it. Very nice. Using all 3 of his leap charges though. Is likely still to die here as they've dropped the 2nd sentry just in case. As actually it will come in handy.
You forced the Moonlight Shadow off him, the 3 leaps. I mean, he got regen, who cares?
Yeah.
You only used really a cooldown, which is not a big commitment. So, that's pretty good. Honestly, taking down the Mirana, now you can take down the middle tower. With 9, this is always a possibility. And if you take down this middle tower, you should be, actually with these creeps, honestly, right at the Dagon level, which is fantastic. But, at least fighting Pepegas will put in some pressure into the bottom lane, and hoping to take down this this tower as well. I just realized fighting Pepegas is the same letters as flying penguins. Is that a homage?
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Could be. Honestly, I don't know.
Interesting. So now they're forced to back down, by the way. They're forced to do the wraparound.
Yep. Smoked up from behind though. They're gonna try the same maneuver. These teams are like quite literally marrying each other, aren't they? It's kind of freaky though. But now we might get a real team fight. Is Envy looking for the Chrono? Decides against it on Brax, as maybe looking for some softer targets here.
We've seen the power of 9 when the Chrono does not have him inside of it.
Yeah,
he
definitely.
needs to get 9 in the Chrono. Especially because he's full HP, so that means that even though he doesn't have much mana, the life stream will regain his mana back. And they're not going to attack him. He has enough range now with Aetherlands.
Yep.
It's very scary, honestly, because as a Void, the whole time you just want to get whatever Chrono you can muster, right? It doesn't really matter that much.
We've talked about this before as well, but thanks to the Heavenly Grace, those bashes from the Void really turn into mini bashes, don't they? So even if they're going on someone else, there's the ability for, you know, someone not to get permabash, you know, for example, Moo, late game. Now that he's actually going for the Heaven's Halberd over the Aghanim Scepter, interestingly enough. If he gets a Satanic, you know, might allow him to pop the Satanic and lifesteal up in between those mini bashes, thanks to the Heavenly Grace. So lots of heaven here. I'm sure the clerics are very happy.
Jesus Christ. The Heaven's Halberd is fantastic to stop the Void. It's good against Enchanters as well. It's not bad. It's not the most common item on a Gyrocopter, but it's okay. Stat resistance is very good in general, even though it's not great against the Void Chrono.
Yeah.
This means they have to kill you within the Chrono. Right? It doesn't stop the Chrono from being less stuns, but the chain stunning after, yes.
Yeah. I do have to rectify that statement. I believe Omni Knight might be a Paladin, actually. I'm not too sure.
I will stab you.
I think he's multi-class, though, because he's kind of a healer. I don't know. We'll have to see. Did you know that Warlock's lore is pretty, and all his abilities are pretty much copy-pasted from the D&D Player's Handbook?
Really?
Yeah. It's
tell me more.
It's pretty interesting, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Fascinating. Just flabbergasted.
Anyway, top lane in a bit of trouble here is going to be Snaking. No chance for him to escape. The permastuns are there. Locked down, and Moon gonna get the kill.
Okay. So that's gonna be Snaking going down. Great. This is a start. They actually root down Moose. And that's it. There's no more follow for that. Just try to take the towers now. I mean, you talk are the tier 2, so there's nothing really much for J.Storm to do, really.
Yeah.
Except for threat high ground.
I mean, they're getting kills, right?
Yeah, but it's small kills. Like, I don't think fighting Pepegas will... Well, I say this, but I just realized it's an MV team. But I don't think they will give up their cores easily now. They just play defensively, play around their high ground. The only issue is Pugna is really great at sieging high ground.
Yeah, he is. Slow siege here. Moon Meander needs farm. Envy needs a continued farm as well. Does he have his Maelstrom yet? He does. Working on the BKB next, which is really going to help him. And again, look at this aggressive vision coming out from fighting Pepegas. This war is expiring soon. This one's a bit of an ambitious ward, isn't it? On the high ground for the tier 3. They do have that tier 2 down at least. But
I agree. It is very ambitious. I don't think they've made use of it until now.
no, but I mean, it gives decent intel if they want to see anyone TPing in to, you know, defend the high ground. Because the lane is shoving pretty hard, so would give them some nice intel.
That's true. They have been doing this until now. It's just that the choice by J.Storm is just, well, I guess I'll just push and force you to back. You know, it's never, I'll go back and fight you. So, in the end, J.Storm, they're going to commit a rotation here.
It's a full pipe of insight as well on Moon Meandered. Bryle's TPing out, though. There's Envy, still continuing to farm bottom. This is so weird. It's like they've swapped. Like, I mean, I know they're creep skipping and, you know, all this good stuff, right? But it's like they've swapped You know, all right, we'll farm the Radiant jungle and we'll farm the Dire jungle. You know, it's like, what's so weird.
No, that's I mean, it's not uncommon.
Yeah.
So this is very common if you know that the enemy has offensive wards. You see them in your jungle, you go, well, they definitely have a ward there. So immediately I'm going to go farm their jungle because that's probably not warded because they're not using defensive and offensive ward. That's not a good idea usually. Yeah. So it happens often if you have a team that's okay with just not fighting and just farming. And both teams have that. That's why. Like, they have very similar drafts. That's why they're playing so early.
We're going to continue Siege, not Peeble. Going to allow no chance for them to kill here onto Moon Meander. They don't have vision here on Aoi. This is a great ward, actually just outside of the true sight range of the tier 3 towers. Maybe now they'll make the jump. They'll toss the Moon Meander a bit closer there. Barely staying alive, but able to get the nether ward. That cliff saved their life. If they had gone on the other side of that cliff, it would have been very scary.
Let's see. Mo takes down. I mean, he's just the leading man.
They've cut the waves though. They've cut mid, top, and bottom's actually pushing in here. So maybe this is where this ward will come in handy, right? You'll know if anyone's TPing back.
Use the cliffs just to keep the creeps nearby though. I mean, while Moon Meander's using enchant to get rid of these creeps, but now they catch Moon Meander. They use the call down. Moon could be in trouble. The call down also hits Aoi, and Moon will die immediately. As they are forced to use the golem, but that golem does nothing though.
Yeah, the fatal bounce is only onto one as well. They didn't have any more vision onto the back lines. As Envy continuing to cut the waves here. Wow, that was an opportune moment.
Yep.
Slash. Now, oh, there's good. He has actually TP'd back, as there's going to be the Decrepify that comes through. Envy wasting no time. We'll go ahead and farm at least a little bit of the camp here. 9 in a bit of trouble. A second Decrepify comes through. They will have the damage thanks to the Pulse Nova, though. As top lane, ooh, Fear will get dusted, but the arrow will not scout him.
Well, Pugna was a very hopeful TP. He got Guardian Angel. He's like, well, I guess it's my only option.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you lose the Pugna for the enchantment. I think that's actually a slight win for fighting Pepegas if it wasn't because they lost their tier 3. Which means Shrines are now fair game. That's an extra bit of gold for a team that has a Pugna, and they need to keep on scaling. And J.Storm didn't lose the Gyrocopter, who's now going to have the Ags for this next team fight, most likely. I mean, he's 500 gold away.
No. From here, I think... take Shrines, maybe go for a Roche play as Fear is stalking, snaking up near the top shop. Raindrop, top shop.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Is that like a...
Oh, never mind. There's no use. This mine's lost, and as it's snaking, no chance for him to escape here. Call down into the Overgrowth committed for him as well.
Is it a close, Brad?
No, stop it. It's okay. Don't worry.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
It's a rap song.
Top Man.
No, Raindrop, drop top.
I know Candy Shop.
That's a very old song.
Yeah. Is there Top Shop too? Is that on a brand?
Come on, man.
I don't understand you, bud. It's like you're speaking two different languages. You're speaking, you're American.
You've not heard that one. Do memes not make it across the ocean?
What? No. Why? How would they possibly do that?
That's true. How could
we don't have good ships.
As Envy could be in a bit of trouble. He's been caught out farming here. Ooh, he's not going to get onto the other side here of these trees. BKB is going to be committed here. They might have the physical damage for him. Spell Stolen is going to be time lapse.
Oh, no.
They're going to get him. That's a 10-second BKB. The tips come out here for Envy. He ends up breaking the tree a second too late, maybe realizing that he still has that Quelling Blade and is ultimately unable to escape.
Nothing is more satisfactory than killing a few that's BKB TPing and then tipping it.
And here's Aoi once again dying to 9. Dagon 5, actually. Dagon 2, I'm sorry. It's not quite as fat as a Dagon. You know what I think they should do is to make it easier to see what kind of Dagon it is, they should turn the Dagon a little bit more, you know.
What do you mean?
Like right now, like Dagon 1 is like 9 o'clock. You know, Dagon 3 is like noon, high noon, right? And then Dagon 5 is 3 o'clock, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that would get very confusing to me. I would be like, what is this new item I just acquired?
Fair enough. Gonna get healed up just a little bit here. That's all he needs, though. An evasion from the Heaven's Halberd. At least we'll dash out all that damage coming through from the Impetus.
He has Ags now, though, so no. Good luck trying to catch Moo. If you even catch him in the Chrono, he might kill you by accident. It's not that easy now, especially if 9's around.
I don't know. He doesn't have Maelstrom, though.
No, that's true. I guess you're liking the damage. Yeah, because he went for Heaven's Halberd early.
So he's going to go in for the BKB, so he still won't really have that damage. He's going to be able to farm quite quickly, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's a little bit deceptive here, this Aghanim Scepter. Still very good, though, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, sure, you're right. You need the BKB, though. You need it against the Leshrac.
Fear here is going to not get scouted. Ooh, maybe. I don't think so.
No, they didn't catch him.
Yeah.
He has Blink anyway, but he just realized the Moonlight Shadow. We just saw them all go invisible, so Fear, what a great scout.
Yep. Scouting out, is able to provide a very good intel as Void finds a TT rune. Moo nearby as Envy is time walking out though. 9-second BKB on him now. As, let's see, how's that we doing here? He's got himself Tranquil Boots. What's he got on the core here? Wards? Absolutely. Mid lane here is we get the classic fight here. There's going to be the Chronosphere onto one. Brax, though, on the outside of the pit is going to be able to get that GA. They don't have the magic. Actually, they do have the magic damage. There is going to be the Golem onto 3, but the stolen... Oh, my goodness. The stolen Chrono onto 2 heroes, keeping the sports as well as Moon Meander backed up here. Rooted down is going to be the Void. They have not gotten the kill as TPing out of harm's way will be Brax. There's going to be the buyback on Moon. He's come back now. Still has no BKB as Aui's Golem is going to get going on.
Okay.
Very nice steal on the Chrono.
So that ended up being a really, really good counter, honestly. Even if you didn't get a kill there, just stopping the Gyro from dying super valuable. And sorry, so getting the Gyro to die, but still getting this nice steal on the Chrono. My bad. I was like, ooh, I swear to God he died there, but I saw him back again.
That was the most interesting smoke in the world, but I think I'm going to eat my words immediately because that ended up working. They're able to close the gap onto Moon Meander a lot easier as he breaks the smoke and he has nowhere to run.
That's what you call a South American smoke, man. It's when you back out just like 2 steps. They're not going to expect the smoke now of all times.
Just out of vision.
Just out of vision. I mean, it used to be like it was actually very popular when you used to do it in the, you know, in the high gun near the bottom lane dire. When you used to like, well, there used to be a high ground there, but now there's a high ground here, right? Here, for example, and a high ground nearby. Because it's a double back, right? You back out, you think, oh, I'm retreating. Nope.
Yeah, the
smoke
fake
back in. Yeah, the fake back. That's it. That's it. And, well, you can use it more or less aggressively. It worked out. You got a Roshan. The steal the Chrono there also put a lot of hinder on their counter initiation. So they only got Gyro there, which you got to buy back immediately. He lost a bit of gold, sure, but it's not the end of the world. You got it back already, just with the Roshan kill.
I think the stolen Chrono was actually really good.
Yeah, because you stopped the counter,
It was great for there. Well, I mean, it was fighting Pepegas that initiated though.
Exactly, that's why you stop the once you
follow.
Chrono, yeah, the follow.
There you go.
Sorry,
yeah. I was like, no, they were the ones that actually got a fantastic. Actually, they've TP'd here.
That's the Halberd doing work.
Bryle has no boots here as Anch. Ooh, the arrow though. Yeah, you can't dodge that one actually. He's got a lot of damage now. There's going to be the Heavenly Grace though, as the TP will come through and get cancelled perhaps actually. Maybe they're going to stay top. Maybe if they can buy time here and cancel some TPs. No chance here as Moose will get the TP back. Envy onto the high ground. Interesting spot, but I guess it's a good one. Unlikely to get scouted there and get his TP cancelled. But now Bryle could be in trouble. Yeah, Fear is going to be finding him.
They know there's a tree in the trees.
Yeah. That's going to be the initial route. I don't think he can get out, though. He's got BKB. That is a 10-second or 9-second BKB. Does have the boots of travel. Is he going to try and go for it? Let's see if he's luckier than Envy was. Yeah, I think he needed to. Oh, yeah, there's no chance, actually, is there? Is he going to go for it now? He might be able to get it, though. Is he? Yes, he is, actually.
He didn't have the mana for the overgrowth. Did he actually calculate that properly? That's insane.
Whew. That was a close one.
That can't be. I don't know if he was checking Trimber's mana and he saw he didn't have enough mana for overgrowth and no stick charges.
I think he maybe just wanted to break vision, maybe bait the tree up. But hey, I mean, that's definitely possible as well.
Well, that was a very impressive play. I can't believe he got out there. So, you know, thank God for the last strike. No big deal, though, because, yes, you don't get the kill on last strike. Obviously, that's a big of a loss. But J.Storm, they're more concerned with continuing to farm and make this, like, make the right plays coming to the late game, because the team fight is starting to come out, really. And now the team fights start to be much more relevant. Simple pickoffs can actually really sway the way, and whoever gets the initiations to be much more important. Here, however, the issue for J.Storm is 9 is starting to sweat bullets. He's like, okay, I picked the Pugna. I did my job in the early game. What do I do now, though? Pugna is not the best hero at scaling upward. Whereas Leshrac, happy to go into a late game. No problem for him.
Yeah, a lot of defensive items now. Pipe, I think that's Greaves on the Snake King. 2 BKBs, they're pretty low here. 3 Blink Daggers on the side of J.Storm. And despite having a pretty significant kill advantage, they're up 9 kills. The quote lead is in fighting Pepegas' favor as Snake King, again, is still getting ran down. Enchant to slow down Moo, but hey, you've ran for so long, why not have another homing missile, Snake King? How kind of him. I will say, though, J.Storm, their positioning has been just absolutely perfect. As what's going on up here? sticking around a little bit longer. Why are there so many homing missiles? What is this cooldown? 11 seconds ago.
What is this the first time you've read the skill?
I don't know, man. There's just I was like, is he 25 already? Why does he have so many homing missiles? Owie, trying to escape here.
So the whole missile, let's do some math actually. I might even try to troll you. There's so the time it takes for it to like start up, I actually don't know if it says it here, but it's around 2 to 3 seconds, right, more or less, for it to start up, right? So by the time the whole missile's already on the air, you have 8 seconds, more or less, it's like 2.5, I think, to get the whole missile, you know, out. So it makes sense that by the time it hits target, you have a second one already ready.
They found Owie. He stuck around a bit long here, maybe just trying to continue pushing out the waves. Envy has time walked forward. I think he's going to end up backing out here as there's all 4 heroes here showing. As TPing top is Bryle. There is 9 here. Maybe to just continue pushing out the waves.
BKB's ready for Gyrocopter, so, or it'll be once he gets
I know, but he doesn't do all that much damage though yet.
Well, why do you care if you're unkillable?
Well, I guess it's true.
Last
you have Aegis.
forever.
It's a farming Aegis.
It is actually, to be fair. The first Aegis usually use tier 2s. Do you see any tier 2s on the map?
Nope.
So he's done his job. I mean, people joke about the farming Aegis, but are you really going to go high ground with just an Aegis?
No, it's actually a farming Aegis. As now Pugna might be in a bit of trouble. They're going to connect the stun. Snaking coming forward. Decrepping yourself will not help there, as that's going to be a massive kill onto 9.
And this is the point where you as Pugna, you go, like, you kind of get desperate, right? Because now your role is more to shove lanes. It's not so much to be the super dominant hero that gets pick-offs and you can kill anyone in the map. No, you're there to shove lanes and push when you're up in the high ground. This means that you're put in a precarious position more often than not. But unlike this Goat over here, your movement speed is not absolutely fantastic. You don't go for these kind of items either. You might consider going for a Yule Scepter, but that loses relevance. So Bryle, just with the Travel Boots, Yule Scepter, BKB, he is much better at doing what Pugna is supposed to do.
Yep.
And he also is better in team fights. And this is the difference between the 2 mid laners. That's why Pugna was dominating early, but fighting Pepegas, they have a fighting chance.
Yeah, Aegis gets reclaimed here as well, so there's no more Aegis of Immortality here on the Gyrocopter. As you were saying that, actually, Moon Meander picks up his, he completes the Hurricane Pike, so now he's not even that scared of the scary green man, scary green skeleton man. Pugna, thank you. The big brain fart. As,
I don't know if he's a man, I think he was a child. I think that's the lore.
He's bone man anyway.
Is he dwarf, actually? I don't know. He's very small. No, I'm not even kidding you. Look at him. Like, this is not the size of a normal human.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. What's the term? Little people. I meant. Little person. Little skeleton.
Okay, so having a quick pause here. But yeah, no, there's so many good defensive items here on Moon Meander. And now he's going to start picking up some offensive items. I mean, I think the Hurricane Pike actually is probably the point of inflection for him here. Because he does get that Dragon Lance increase in his attack range, providing some much-needed stats for him as well. But he's going to be going for, I think that was a full medallion he's got queued up. Indeed. Speaking of Solar Crest, I'm sorry. We've also got one here on Brax. He's queued one up. He's actually got one completed, going for the Blink Dagger next. So J.Storm going to be going for Team Blink Dagger. Figure's got a gem as well. What's he queued up? I'm surprised we haven't seen the Meteor Hammer yet. That might block the... No, it does not block the camp. Either way, a Great Ward will provide additional vision here. They're going to scout Envy farming. They have no idea Fear is here. They're actually going to scout them as well, going into the Moonlight Shadow. So Moon Meander could be in a bit of trouble, maybe just trying to bait him forward, as Fear now going to find the Marana. They could have a really great jump here, but where is Envy? We have found him here, looking for the Chrono. Not going to go for it yet, as Moo's in a bit of trouble. There's going to be the Chrono onto 2. Gyrocopter, however, is going to get the Guardian Angel buff, as Anch trying to put in whatever damage he can. There's going to be a nice Golem here onto 2 heroes, as Fear now fully retreating, though. He still has that phase. Ooh, but Envy jumping in there, going to get the bash, and left in a very awkward position here, actually. Able to time walk away, as now Snaking will die, but buying back here is Moose.
Okay, they're still going for Moon here.
Yeah.
Another blast with the life trade. He forced himself to safety. Yep. Did they have a stun for him? No, they do
nope.
not.
That's what I'm talking about. He's not even that scared anymore. He's got that Force Staff.
Yeah, that Hurricane Plague makes a huge difference here. We did see what you were talking about as well. The Gyrocopter lacks the damage. He did last for a long time, so we see that BKB as a necessity. Here they go onto the Warlock, at least a counter kill. But it's not... I mean, it's okay. It's just okay. You got the 2 supports.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been worse, honestly. You stopped the initiation by the Void there. You didn't lose that much yourself, to be honest. So, mainly your 2 supports as well. You managed to defend your tower, which is what the most important part, and now you have a chance to actually go into the high ground. With the Pugna, you don't even have to commit that much to go into this high ground.
BKBs are on cooldown, and they get a bit shorter as well duration for everyone, but I think that's it's very important for everyone, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it basically is important for everyone. They have just like such even drafts. It's basically almost a mirror draft here. They do have the Rubik factor here on J.Storm, so don't forget about this Moose Rubik, who's now TPing in, actually. Boots of Travel on this position 4 Rubik with the Blink Dagger as well. And already 3 components of Axe, almost has it completed. He's popped back as well, so he's been quite rich. So they're now going to be making quick work here of the middle barracks. Oh, Envy jumping in as if he has a chrono. He doesn't. 9. That's what I'm talking about, those mini bashes. Thanks to the Heavenly Grace, as now the BKB comes out. Beautiful stun onto him, though. Do they have the damage for the Pugna? They absolutely do now. Aoi giving them the slow here as Moo pumping in the damage. Does he have it? Bryle falling solo. Can't quite get the kill onto him. And now Upheaval really doing some work here as the arrow will connect onto Brax. No chance for him. He did not get that Heavenly Grace off quite yet, as a second Upheaval will slow him down a bit more here. Actually, it's a stolen Upheaval from Moose, creating space, actually. They're going to get the TP out from one, maybe multiple heroes, as the Blink Dagger is there just in time. Brax, no way he escapes here, right? Guys, the Brax, oh! Maybe he was tucked in there, didn't have good enough vision.
No, they don't have vision because you have to actually circle around, and even then, what do? You have to use the arrow on Snake, and notice a bit too late. Very good TP by Brax, actually. You know, hiding in plain sight, literally. And there, Moose, my god, what an upheaval. What an upheaval by Moose, immediately blinking away as soon as the upheaval ended. He almost has the Ags as well, so that's going to be an exciting potential Golem steal as well for him. In fact, he has the Ags now. Moose is playing so well, but we did see the issue here in the last team fight. Gyrocopter, he lacks the damage. He has a consistent damage. He lasts a long time. He can constantly dish this out, but he needs that butterfly a bit desperately to actually dish out more damage and not rely on the Pugna for being your main source.
Yeah.
And there where the Pugna dies, you just have nothing to actually finish the enemy off. You have a lot of area damage, it's good spread, but no single target pickoff.
The Scottish Fear as well. They might be fighting again here. BKB's off of cooldown as Brya will use his. He's actually been clipped as Envy now doing a bit of damage. Brya will TP all the way back home, and there's going to be a stolen chrono on 2-3. Envy able to time walk through it, no problem. They'll put down Moon Meandered. Aoi next to fall here most likely, as Snake King doing his best to escape here. Does not have any more leap charges, but is quite a fast cat. As Bryle actually TP's, he uses TP scroll to go back home, and then bots back in here to push bottom potentially. Now finally showing, maybe trying to trigger some teleports, and he will trigger Moose. But another beautiful stolen Chronosphere.
Yeah, Chronosphere that he doesn't get to use now because he gets the time dilation instead, unfortunately, for the next round. There is a push in the bottom lane. Last Strike and Void deciding. Let's see. It's bottom lane versus mid. I don't know if this is the right play here fighting Pepegas. You just have to at least take a tower, but there's a whole team in your base destroying your racks here. There's a bit of a base race here as Eternal Envy and Bryle believe in their pushing power, but the Glyph has been activated. In the top lane, there's no such thing. And with the Pugna and the Gyrocopter, they managed to take 2 lanes of racks here. Oh, the TPs though, they want to defend this too. Fear comes in. He has the Overgrowth ready. They can still fight this, honestly.
Here
Overgrowth, they just need a bit more catch. Ooh. Overgrowth almost there. They want to catch Bryle, but no. He gets away just in time. He's a bit too quick.
They did get top barracks as well. They secure mid barracks and destroy top lane. There was a tower there, so
it's a win. It's a complete win for them, but it could have been a double whammy there.
It's so huge for them, though.
Yes.
We got all tier 2s down now. This game's just kind of almost blown wide open for J.Storm. So close there. I'm surprised they didn't just take Megas, honestly. So Lush now closing into this level 25 talents. What do you reckon? He's going to go for these Edict Explosions, or?
Yeah, of course. There's no question. You never go for light. I don't care. They can make a Lightning Storm slows you for eternity, and it would still be that walking explosion.
I don't know.
Did you not remember the game we casted for the ACL where it was just Last Strike alone against Throne and just one Devilhawk Edict destroyed the Throne in seconds?
Yes.
It's absurd. This guy, what is it with the extra Edict explosions? I think it's like 300 damage a second. It's absurd. It's honestly stupid.
Yep. Finding Pepegas, setting the trap here. Ooh, arrow almost connecting onto Moo there. It's Fear. Maybe now going to go ahead and get aggressive here and Scout. Still holding on to a fair bit of money is Fear as we check now for buyback statuses.
That's around 280. That's almost 400. Almost 300. Sorry.
Nice arrow will connect here onto Moose, and there's going to be the Chronosphere onto the Pugna. GA is going to get dropped as they have not got him breakfast, but they do have the magic damage from his Envy. BKB now going to get started here onto Rush, but again, a stolen Chrono onto 3 heroes into the call down as well. There's going to be the force tap up the cliff, though, as in a bit of an awkward fight this one is. They're at least going to be able to put down Snaking, thanks to the Arcane Supremacy holding him down for a hell of a long time. Now, as daylight starts, the chase will continue here as Bryle, level 25 here. Look at these Edict explosions. They're actually all quite alone here. There's going to be the Rock onto 2. Fatal Bond's going to get juked out here as Bryle now pops the BKB of his own. Brax falling quite low. Another call down use as well as Aoi getting back involved in the fights. Let's see what he can do in Disco Pony. My goodness. As Envy getting tossed up and down. 9 barely alive here on 50 HP. One more auto attack from Envy is all it takes. He is now dominating, jumping forward. He wants more. They're going to be able to use up the Omni Knight move, dodging out that arrow, but unfortunately 9 will perish. Now look at the bashes out from Moo. They are still mini bashes thanks to the Heavenly Grace, though, as it will persist, but that's going to be a kill. Another buyback now, 3 buybacks. Pugna has died back in the middle of this fight as we still continue. Time Walk stolen, will bait Envy forward, but he's going to go for a bit more damage here. Does not get that talent. Can Time Walk in 1 more second and will be able to. I think finally this fight's over. They're going to go for Roche now. Good fight from fighting Pepegas. My goodness.
Yes, fighting Pepegas. This might be the time. Once you get the Roche, the H's and the cheats, you can actually threaten the high ground. This is a huge turnaround for you. The Pugna being dead every single team fight. They're concentrating on that hero, and they know he's the main source of damage. Without him, they can't really do much. Are you going to fight this J.Storm move? Seems like he's interested at least to slow this down.
So close, though. No, they can't get in the pit.
It's just annoying them, but there's the pit. The H is gone. It's... You really don't want to fight this. It was not a fight you could commit to, and fighting Pepegas knew this. They didn't falter. They take the H and the cheese.
Yep, and Envy just continuing in stride here. Actually, he's gone a bit aggressive here. I think he's going to be okay, but continues in stride. He's got that MKB now. He notices there's a butterfly now up on the gyrocopter, immediately getting that countered as Gyro has disassembled
the Heaven's Halberd.
Yes, of course. And
because that way you get butterfly. Yes.
Yep, and he's going to build it up again. Interesting. Okay, that's a nice itemization there. You get that a bit faster.
Interesting. It's built. Usually you either sell the Sanjay, you turn it into something more useful. Whatever. Sure. Heaven's Halberd's been really good this game.
I agree. It's
honestly, MKB though, it was just because he already had Heaven's Halberd to begin with. You knew this butterfly was going to come out.
Yeah.
It was, so it's a bit hard to surprise them. I think that Envy was planning on this MKB for a while, and now. Envy, he is invisible. He has double damage as well. He could get a great chrono on this gyro. This is a fantastic chrono. Just get moved. Oh no! You got your own teammate, Envy. That is not your objective.
And Fear as well, unfortunately, might be able to re-engage now. Actually, they've already used the Overgrowth. Wild Wing Rippers, my goodness. Enhanced Vegeta, 2 F5 tornadoes from Moon Meandered. They're going to have to back away from that one, honestly. Nothing they can do.
TP from the Void.
It's Tornado Alley right here, man. Look at this.
Pure shame TP. You're acknowledging here. You realize, I don't want to. Like, this just happened. Let's just forget about it. Let's hope the stream had a terrible observer, and we didn't see the Corona happen.
Oh, I caught it.
No. We're just giving
I caught it.
But what we see in front of our eyes is even real. Is this even reality? We don't know. Maybe Envy never whiffed a chrono. Maybe he doesn't even have a chrono to begin with.
Yeah, who knows? 50-50 chance, right?
He is playing a blind man, so you can't really blame him honestly here.
Still got that Midas though. He's got a completed Mjolnir, Mjolnir, Manta style.
Maelstrom on Gyrocopter though. I like this much better than the Heaven's Halberd, honestly. You don't need the double evasion. He's an MKB anyway.
I think he can just sell the Sanj. Maybe keep it actually.
For now, why not? Sure.
Put the drums.
I don't mind stat resist on the Sanj. I think it's still okay, but you're up against a Void Chrono, and that's the biggest concern right now. Like, as it gets further and further into the late game, the follow-up stuns from Lesh and Mirana become less relevant, and it's all about the Void Chrono. Because they will burst you down in that Void Chrono. Void now has the damage to do so.
Still a tier 2 standing here on the side of J.Storm, so fighting Pepegas still need to push down through mid, which is pretty difficult, as you can see Super Creep pushing pretty hard. Top lane as well. Moose is ready to continue pushing. Sphere invised up has... Oh, actually, there's an Axe on a Moose. Keep that in mind. So, what else do we have here? Other big items besides just buyback for everyone?
Nothing that I can... I mean, honestly, it gets to the point of the game where it's not so much about the item, but about initiation. Mirana Axe, maybe, just to shove out the lanes. I mean, it's also relevant in the team fights. Actually... With Fatal Bonds, sure.
Speaking of initiation, Omni's got a Blink Dagger zone, so now 4 heroes on the side of J.Storm with that Blink Dagger, as there goes that tier 2.
Void went for the backtrack, interestingly, so it just wants to make sure the opponent can't trust him down.
Lesh actually has a Scythe of Ice, as well as an Octarine Core.
Scythe Device Octarine is actually a nice combination. I like it a lot because you reduce the cooldown of the Scythe Device himself. 11 second or 12 second, I guess, cooldown on the Hex. Not bad at all.
And is that X completed? No, it's a gem, actually, for the Miranda. That's huge, because now they can potentially catch out Fear, who's been a huge thorn in their side, honestly.
That gem was popped by Iowi, though. He just gave it to him.
Yeah.
You got too excited. It's just, yeah. But the Miranda now can deward. I think that's also a major point. Right? Start dewarding, taking control of the map. You can start seeing, like, the map just has no words. It looks like my pub map. There's nothing on the map. There's no vision. Everyone's blind. And this benefits the team with a better counter initiation. And you have a Warlock on your team, so...
That's true. Yeah. J.Storm are doing a good job of keeping their distance, but there's only so much you can do at some point. You do have to jump back in, don't you? As Snake King now level 22, 20 talents picked up now on Moon Meander. Has gone for the untouchable slow, as of course the Ancient's not going to be too worthwhile in picking up.
No, you don't care. The untouchable slow actually might be quite useful though. It's no, flat down.
Yep.
Here goes Bryle. Here's another attempt. Yes, with level 25 though.
Tier 3. They need to get in here. There's no creep wave for another few seconds, but here's Envy ready to jump in. Yeah, these barracks are just exploding here as Lesh now beginning to pump the damage. He's going to get Storm, but that's going to be immediately purged off. Yeah, indeed it was, but they're going to have the Chrono onto the back line. In goes Envy. BK beat up. In addition, there's going to be plenty of stuns, but oh my god, the Netherward. You see this damage Disco Pony exploding as is Moo, but he's going to be able to stay alive somewhat. I think that's actually another, again, a stolen upheaval. Down goes the barracks, however, as now maybe Envy could be in a bit of trouble being brought forward. Is going to be disarmed, trying to escape. Fear jumping forward, does not have the overgrowth, actually just jumped in the middle of 5 heroes. Maybe was expecting a bit more, but they're going to be able to turn onto him. Maybe considering going back in now. He does have buyback, though, but lots of ults already expended. Like, maybe you just take it easy here, all right? Reset, go back in towards mid lane. No need to push your luck.
No, indeed. I mean, you just used the Chrono. You had an attempt. I want to talk about is the targeting by Envy in that Chrono. So he was a Gyrocopter and Omnite. He decided to go for the Omnite. Interesting choice because I think that Gyrocopter was much lower on HP, but he knew that they had to life drain the Gyrocopter. If he didn't do that, then Gyrocopter was dead. So maybe by selecting the Omnite, he was hoping to get a quick kill, like unsupervised, I guess, without the help of his teammates, and then get rid of the...
Unsupervised.
Yeah, because Omnite was just a kid. Oh,
yeah.
I guess the kid wasn't supervising them.
Yeah.
Also, I checked the lore, by the way. Pugna is a child. I wasn't wrong about that. Yeah, that's why he's so small. But that's not the point. The Chrono there used just to try to kill the Omnite as opposed to the carry. Oh, wow. That is bad.
What did Moose steal? Lightning Storm.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's more that he killed Bryle.
Yeah, holy cow. What the hell? How did we... There's 2 people there involved in that kill. Just stunned into disarmed.
It's because he was trying to push the lanes up.
Pugna magic damage, I guess. Oh, Dagon 5, Fade Bolt. Oof, ouch, owie.
Yeah, sure. I mean, with the Veil Discord also.
Right? You know what it was? It was 50% spell amp as well. Look at that. Rubik's already up to level 25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's actually reached 25 before his mid. Pugna, that child, that stupid kid. That
stupid kid. Stupid dead kid, that's why.
Honestly. As now they're going to go on. Moonlight Shadow might be able to aid them in a kill here. S9 up the high ground. He goes. No further vision here. As like we said, the map is very dark here. And with Lech still dead, they don't want to push their luck in a 4v5 fight. All of a sudden, fighting Pepegas up 17k. And this is actually the biggest lead by far we've taken in this game. I mean, even though J.Storm have had 2 lanes of barracks for what, like at least 15 minutes now, we start to see a spike now back in favor here for J.Storm. But still, man, look at this. What is this? Is this 100% win probability right now for fighting Pepegas just all game? Oh my goodness, that is a.
Yeah, really serious?
Yeah, it is.
Not just broken.
I mean, it's gotta be broken, right? But.
Wow, Ice Frog is an Envy fan.
Yeah, 50-50 here for Envy as the 4-step forward will allow him to perhaps live a bit longer here, holding on to that. Going to be going for the Nullifier, actually, here on Envy.
So this is a first, actually. If fighting Pepegas lose, this will be the first game where Dota probability is completely wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. A Snake King jumping forward, not getting that initiation wrong, but Envy jumping in now. There's going to be the GA onto this Pugna. They need to follow up from the rest of the team. Moon, now BKBs. Where is the Golem? There it is, but you still have the stolen Chrono on top. Actually, Gyrocopter maybe in a bit of a rough spot here. Might not have been his best Chronosphere ever there. Sure, he's still able to pump out that damage thanks to the Aghanim Scepter, but I don't know. He was isolated from the rest of the team here. Maybe aided and abetted from the inside there. I don't know, man. That Chrono is...
MV stood still in that chrono for a second, like, wait guys, I can move. I forgot how this works.
This chrono's green, damn
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It works for MV as well. It doesn't give him the extra movement speed, but it does give him the he's allowed to move into it because, you know, he's the Time Lord, right? Doesn't get affected by enemy chronos. He gets down the gyrocopter. Honestly, that chrono was fantastic if it wasn't because it caught Moo in it too.
Yeah.
That was the one big thing.
That was the issue, I think. He still had Moon meandered on the outside as well.
Yes.
Look at this damage Moo's pumping in. Don't get me wrong, he is pretty online right now, right? Maybe just a Mjolnir is all he needs, but man, he's actually got the Mjolnir and he's got buyback as they're going to be again pushing in mid lane here as Bryle has the Diabolic Edict up in a few more seconds. Moose will catch him. He still has that Chronosphere action because he's got the Aghanim Scepter. It's going to hold him down for a few more seconds. Is there follow-up, though, as Snake will jump in. Actually, they've caught him. Envy does not have the Aghanim Scepter, so he doesn't have it yet, but he does have a Nullifier, so that's going to be a kill now onto Moose. Buy him back. Now is going to be Moose as well as the Pugna. Let's see if they want to be able to chase, and no, they're not going to. Fighting Pepegas, going to be disciplined. Backing off here a little bit. As Envy will TP home. Nice Nullifier purchase here. He's going to go straight into the Aghanim's Blessing. I'm really surprised he didn't go Ags first, however.
Yes. What do you mean? Who?
Envy.
Envy.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm surprised he didn't go Ags earlier. Sure. I think he needed the damage in the Chrono, though. I mean, he's been effective just with those Chronos. He didn't even go for the Chrono AoE. He went for the backtrack. So.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you have, yeah, exactly, El. You've got enough damage here by yourself in the Chrono.
Sure. You want to solo kill the Gyrocopter no matter what. I understand the securing. Now you're going for the team fight. Like, Envy's just thinking, I'm the carry. I need to do damage.
It's very strange, though. It's like, how do you... Because their real issue is the GA pops out, and then you need the magic damage, right?
Yeah.
So it's... I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. It's been working for fighting Pepegas, as you can tell. Dota Plus still predicting boldly that 99 or 100% win rate. Just a flat line there.
Like, it believed it in second one. It's just this has been a doubt draft. That's how you win.
That's exactly right. It didn't doubt EE for a second here, as they'll go straight into Roche. Now, using these stuns here, this is going to have an Aghanim's Blessing on it, which should be Envy's, I think.
Take down the Roshan.
Maybe Envy's, maybe Aoi's. Who do you give this to?
I think
maybe the Anch? Moon would be a good target here as well. It's going to be Envy's. It's going to save him 52 or 6,200 gold.
I guess you don't even cheese on Envy. I like the H on Bryle on top of that, and 100% give it to Envy because that saves him the goal that you're talking about. He can go for Moonshard now.
That's a good point. What's his buyback here? He does not have.
Oh, look at this Fear! This DP just got cancelled by a close range arrow, and they have range. Fear, good luck, or Gem, sorry. Good luck getting away.
Yep,
Good
he's gonna drop a gem as well, actually.
That's Overgrowth gone as well for the next team fight.
Does have buy. Oh my god, he's only dead for 50 seconds though.
Yeah, Fear is very
what does he got?
Under-leveled.
What does he got? The freaking respawn talents? He brought it back?
No, he's that old, right? So he's still playing respawn talents.
Oh, come on.
That was yours.
No, that's not the joke I was making.
Okay, yes. Just keep your ageism out of my cast. Thank you very much. Fear, though, without the
They've actually stacked the cheese onto Ench as well.
Yeah, it has a cooldown, actually. So.
I know. That's why it's kind of bad.
Sure. I mean, it's more efficient.
What you want to do is lock one in your inventory. I mean, he's got backpack space anyway.
That is true.
Yeah, but Disco Pony getting burnt up.
Oh,
that's a good point. No mana. There's the triple arrow flying through. Will not connect onto Moo. That's how we know with the Glimmer King. He's getting very aggressive in there. What is he doing all the way up there?
Edict is ready.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom.
What's stolen here? It's going to be arrow. It's only going to get one arrow here, though. As they're going to make the jump. Ryle maybe in a bit of an awkward position here. It's the stuns, the disarms as well, but still doesn't matter. Creep backdoor has kicked in, actually. They don't have a creep wave.
Envy just went whoop right past him. Ignored him. Okay. What's better, backdoor or Diabolic Edict? For now, Edict is winning.
Yeah, it is going to win for sure. The arrow will sail through. Going to connect onto Aoi, though. That's a very long duration stun. Maybe now you want to make the jump here. Not going to quite go for it, though. Creep waves still, they're both super creep waves top and middle, so they need to manually push in a wave. They're not going to be able to get that luxury of just waiting. So they're going to have to reset and go for another push here.
The issue with this is that you had a the backdoor protection is if you can beat it once, right? Ideally, you can always beat it, right? Because you have an auto attack. In this case, though, you're beating it with a spell, which means during the cooldown, it's just regens back.
Yeah. Plus, the buildings have a bit more magic resistance as well. Building armor. Oh, of course. Silly me. Silly me.
There's a BKB here.
They're gonna jump back in. Bryle just jumps in. There's going to be Envy. Man, he is looking for this Chrono. He does get the Blink Dagger out. At least Bryle absolutely melting. Look at this damage. There's going to be the Chrono onto the backlines, onto the Pugna. Brax smartly holding on to it. They still have the GA, though, holding on to it. What has he stolen? It's going to be another Chrono Sphere, hopefully able to use it a little bit better this time as Envy. Is Envy just straight for the buildings now? He doesn't care. It's going to be a 4-man Chrono behind him. Sure, they'll get their Aegis, but Envy's got your barracks. That's all they want. Fighting Pepegas now on the increase. There's a cat in front of my monitor. As now they're going to actually turn back and fight. Oh my goodness! Bryle now with the double kill. Certainly almost GG. 3 heroes without the buyback. J.Storm gonna call it now. Fighting Pepegas. What a push. A beautiful 4-man Chrono, but Envy did not care. He was straight onto those buildings, man.
They did it. They knew. I mean, they took advantage of the last strike diabolic edict. It made it impossible, really, for J.Storm to stop this push from happening. The team fight was just a bit better for them because they could actually utilize the Chrono. Unfortunately, J.Storm didn't draft for Rubik stealing the Chrono, of course. And once you got the Gyrocopter out of that position, which would happen constantly, it meant that you really had no other follow-up for that Chrono. So it worked out great for the guys at Fighting Pepegas, not so great for J.Storm. And that was a really good best of 3 for FP. Honestly, J.Storm, they played fantastically. Full credit to these guys. They played good. They drafted well. They didn't get stomped by any means. It's just that in the end, Fighting Pepegas knew that they had to late game this game. Pugna versus Leshrac. That was a massive difference here. Lesh was so much more impactful than Pugna.
I think J.Storm's timing was a bit earlier. They started that slow siege. It just wasn't fast enough, and they're not going to get finished off. But I mean, I will say, you know, that really just started to take a nosedive there for Fighting Pepegas at around the 40-minute mark. But man, I will say, Dota Plus, they knew it all along, right? 100% win rate at least 100% of the time. So
yeah, Jesus Christ, actually, Dota Plus is never
wrong.
wrong.
Dota Plus is never wrong, guys. Our AI overlords are here, but it's going to be it for us. As J.Storm will get knocked into the lower bracket, they're going to get a rematch of their upper bracket game versus Team Plus after they got their def win as Beast Coast forfeited their match. But that's going to be all the coverage for now, guys, because that's going to have to wait until 11 a.m. I think Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, but it's grand finals coming up soon here. Make sure you guys follow the channels, follow us.
Yeah, what's our Twitters? It's at @DSwordfish for myself, @Seek and Strike Dota for my partner, and if you, as he said, if you follow the channel, you can follow the rest of the qualifiers. We have SCA in just 7 hours, and later we'll continue with the losers brackets finals for NA, as he mentions, and finally the finals for NA. They're a bit delayed, as per usual, but they will be there eventually, as long as no more teams disband or forfeit.
Absolutely. It's this NA instability that makes the region so interesting to watch. But for now, this new Envy stack proving to be quite successful, taking down J.Storm. So we'll see how we go on as we're going to take... actually, that's going to be it for us, guys. So like we said, follow us on Twitter, on Twitch, you know, find me on Tinder, all that good stuff. But for now, it's going to be all the coverage for us today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you for the next cast. See you soon.
Step lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
It's grand final time. Watch it live. The Vodafone 5G ESL Mobile Open. Tune in on the 28th and 29th of September.
So this is it. This is where it all started. The great business of DHL.
You remember when we still use these?
We have all come a long way since then.
Hey, Effie, my little buddy. I got a special job for you. And this is only the beginning.
Life is made up by special moments that touch us. A touch of genius, an inspirational touch, and a touch of magic. Some touches are simply unique. Euronics, a human touch in a digital world.